Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Fans in Motion podcast. I've been saying this for a while. I still think it rings true. The only podcast that you didn't know you needed. I say to my friends here, I don't mind if you think I have too much going on here. Would you mind if I stay? No end of the story. San Francisco Bay seemed so cold when I first landed, yet it turned out all right because you gave us half a chance. Say hello, Josh.
Hey, baby. There ain't no Josh. It's Elvis Blades today, baby. Elvis Blades. Celebrating in 1 year.
Brent.
Hi, people. I'm back. Hold on.
Oh,
we got the. Hello. Damn it. Oh, I turned it down.
Oh,
Fail.
Anyway.
All that for that.
You threw me off with the Elvis. I saw you play musical hats, and I'm thinking, well, you could have done that when you were doing the countdown. But it looks good. I see your little ring light in front of you. There's like 4 of them.
Hey, baby.
Good look for you.
When you're
Well, anyway,
when you're this sexy, man, you need all the lights. You know what I mean, baby?
it's dead sexy, you know. So that was Don't Let Up, and that was my little thank you to everybody who helped build this page. You didn't let up on us. We are here. We're here tonight celebrating 1 year of podcast brilliance. Sometimes, other times, just insanity and fun and sharing great stories with my friends here. I'll raise a toast. I have a nice coffee sitting there. Thank you very much.
Not a McDonald's.
I made that myself.
Not a Coca-Cola coffee energy drink.
That's a whole nother story. But
yeah, you had to be here last night, folks, when Andy and I were talking.
You had to be.
Nasty.
We're quickly moving on. Before we move on, I just want to say this is awesome. We were just talking. We just hit 5,000 members. The page is growing. The podcast is getting bigger. We're getting better guests. We're getting the guests that we initially shot for from day one.
The only thing it's not getting better is us. Like, we constantly get worse.
Hey, we stay true to our craft.
You know,
I don't know what our craft is.
We're only about 45 minutes behind because, fucking numbnuts there. You know, hey, I can't get my Skype up. I'm like, but we got it going. You know, hey.
And he's not referring to me, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's me. I'm having some. I'm in my bunker, and the laptop is not doing its job. But we're celebrating. We're going to have a fun little trip down memory lane here. Talk about the past year in podcasting. At times, the #1 Night Ranger podcast in the world. After tonight, we don't know where that's going to end up. But so. Let's real quick talk about the last episode before we move on. The last episode that we posted was the review, the press release of And the Band Played On, the newest Night Ranger disc. We talked about the samples and all that fun stuff. Any feedback? We've listened to any more? We've been listening to Breakout like crazy. I have.
Listen, baby, when I think of rock and roll, I think of Breakout. I was sitting listening to it, eating my peanut butter and banana sandwich. And I had my baby here, and I said, let baby sit on my lap. Let's listen to that new Night Ranger. I love the new Night Rangers. They're a bunch of good guys. I love them. Elvis Blades. A lot of good feedback because the new Night Ranger is fucking awesome. So I think everybody just enjoyed us talking and them having the same feelings. I mean, that was the general consensus. Is just I'm never taking these glasses off. Everybody kind of went through their previews. I think it was, I can't remember the name, who it was now, but someone went through while we kind of went through our previews and paused the podcast. They listened and then listened to what we had to say. And it's 2021. We're talking about Night Rangers, so a lot of good feedback on that last episode. If you have not watched it yet, shame on you.
Yeah, you're dead to me. Brent, you have any thoughts?
No, it's great that we have, like I said, a minute and a half preview of each song. It was great last night. My daughter Madison came home, and she was somewhat of a fan of the last CD, And she's like, well, what's it sound like, Dad? I said, it sounds a lot like they picked up where they left off. I said, it's just consistent hit writing. I said, a couple songs have more of a country feel to it. And I played her Dance. She loved Dance.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the one I'm really looking forward to listening to as soon as I get the disc. That's the one that's jumping out at me. Besides Breakout, the more I listen to it, the more I just kind of walk around like, God, this is so. It's just so cool. And to echo Josh there, again, it's 2021, and we are still talking about, not just talking about Night Ranger, but new Night Ranger.
You're not really echoing me because I didn't hear any Elvis voice there. So,
thank you very much. I just wanted a sandwich, man.
Hey, baby. Why don't you come over here?
Little Elvis in my refrigerator.
Hey, if you look right there, you can see the guy. Boo! A little bit of Elvis, man. You gotta get these shades, $7.99. Or, you gotta know Elvis. He'll give you a pair. Let's just talk about Elvis. What's your guys' favorite Elvis?
That's because he just died on the toilet again.
Hey, you know what? Those are fighting words, man. We don't talk about that shit.
No, you froze up for about 30 seconds. And we announced that Elvis Blades has left the building. Sorry.
And and we're just a train wreck, so if you guys don't know yet, we don't know what the shit we're doing. We also, if you wait till the end of this episode, which sucks because most of you have already turned it off by now, we're going to have some former guest come back on for 10 minutes or so and tell us how great we are and how, awesome we've been able to do this for 1 year because, you would think
you're being fast and loose with great.
Yeah, I think we even found out that we're the reason why they made a new record.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
So hang out and you will see who we have on at the end. Andy, where are we going next? I'm not taking these glasses off, man. I fucking love it.
Oh, well, that's great.
It looks good with the Night Ranger hat too.
Well, we love seeing the reflection of your light ring, and that's awesome for us. Looks like you have little weird eyes.
Yeah, it looks like one piece looks like a macaroni.
Kind of looks like a little bit like Fitz the Night Owl there. You guys remember him?
No.
You guys don't remember Fitz the Night Owl? Oh. Fitz the Night Owl, late night movie up in Columbus. You guys might have got it in Cincinnati, maybe.
No, I don't think we did.
Well, then fuck y'all. All right, go to the next one.
Moving on.
Oh, and I want to know about Fitz the Night Owl now. Come on.
Oh, look him up. 70s, 80s, just your late night, the late movie. They'd always have the crappy horror movie on.
Was it like Cincinnati's Cool Ghoul?
Probably.
Oh, well, we had the past. Oh, you mean on TV? I thought you meant at the movie theater.
No.
Yeah, we had Bob Shreve's Past Prime Playhouse is what we had.
What was the movie, I think, with Danny DeVito where it's like Jack, is it Jack? Not Jack the Bear. Where he is he does the same thing. He hosts like a local TV horror station. But it was the same thing.
Out of this episode.
Where are we going?
Well, the next thing we have is Night Ranger news. Does anybody have anything new going on? Is there new dates been announced? Is there a fifth vinyl release? Anything I need to know?
No.
I've got just a little bit room left on my credit card. I could blow it on another Night Ranger album.
No fifth release yet.
We can give them the idea, like I said when I posted that mock-up with backstage passes on it. They could do another deluxe edition and do that.
There you go.
That'd be cool.
Well, real quick, I do have a question because I don't know the answer off the top of my head. There was a Japanese release of the CD, correct?
Yep.
And that's going to have a bonus track that we don't have.
It's going to have the hardest. What is it? The hardest road.
The acoustic version.
Yeah, just acoustic.
Okay.
So it's the same song but a different version of it.
And Eric we were talking about it on the page, Eric Levy made a comment that version was one of his favorites. It's a favorite of the two versions, but it was almost his favorite of the whole CD. So
what I'm hearing is I need to order that version versus the American version.
Well, and somebody from Japan chimed in and said they were ordering an autographed version. So I don't know anything about that from Japan.
Don't know either. I can maybe get some answers on it, but that's the first I've heard of that. News-wise, you have the M3 festival coming up in July 4th. You have July 9th, 10th, and 11th. You got 3 days of shows. We Clear Lake, Iowa. It's a surf ballroom where the last show where Buddy Holly, Big Bopper, and Richie Valens played. I will be at that show. You're going to have the Wabash, Indiana show, which us 3 should all be there. If you're looking for tickets for that show, just type in Wabash, Wabash, and just type in after that Honeywell Center, and you can buy tickets directly off their site. That's where you get tickets for that. And then the Sunday night, they're playing Wisconsin Dells at the Crystal Grand Ballroom or something, but it's an outside show that it looks like. So you got that, and then you got some shows that are lining up really starting September, and more things are being added on. You got this September 8th Wednesday night show in Cleveland at the Jacobs Pavilion, the Danny Rapepi Memorial Show. So it's going to be a good time. All 3 of us will be there. We'll be doing some of the podcast stuff. So if you get a chance, go on Ticketmaster, get yourself a couple of the tickets for that September 8th show in Cleveland, because that's going to be a really good time, and it's for a good cause as well. Other than that, we're just kind of awaiting the Night Ranger release and the next single and all the good stuff.
Yeah, and if you're at the Surf Ballroom and you see Josh, I can't tell you how much he's going to appreciate and much more love if you come up from behind him and say, "Hello, baby," in honor of the Big Bopper. Ooh, and Josh will turn around and go, "Chantilly's had a pretty." He'll sing it every single time you do it.
Just make sure you grab my ass when you do it.
I'd say just make sure you smile when you say "Damn Yankees."
Yank this. There is
grab
a
him
little.
In the Dugan.
There is a little bit. I saw on a site where someone was talking about hearing the upcoming album from Renan Zonta. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Don't care. Brad Gillis, Billy Sheehan, and David Huff. I think David Huff was in the band Giant, if I remember correctly. But that says coming out in 2022 on Frontiers. So that is another album that Brad is working on. So we will get some more Whammy Bar in 2022 as well.
Did I miss it?
Yeah.
I don't. There you go.
Yeah, right on. Anyways, that's all the Night Ranger news that I can think of.
I don't get to play the drinking game, so I don't know all the words that we're not allowed to say, that we say that triggers these people to, other than Paul Stanley, Chapin, and oh well, hell, ding.
Anyway, there you go. That works better.
Yeah.
Brent, you got any news? Night Ranger news?
I have no Night Ranger news. No.
How about new stuff? Does anybody got anything new that they want to show off, talk about, brag about?
Josh, you or me?
Yours is better, so I'll go first. So we talked about this on a previous episode, this Y&T box set.
Yeah.
And it's done by Universal. Universal owns the rights. And I wish they would do something like this with Night Ranger. So you can see it looks like it's the old, double disc CD case.
Oh, sure.
And what it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 studio albums, a live album, and a live on the Friday rock show. So probably like a radio show. So you have really 7 albums on here. And it's 4 disc. So you can see across all the albums.
All open fires on there?
Yep. So it's on 4 discs. So you open it up. And, each tray has got some photos. It's got a really nice booklet with a lot of photos and everything in it. Talks about each album, and it's got there's disc 3 and 4. So there's no reason if Universal is, they're on the same label now as Night Ranger, you couldn't have. And what brought this up was I said this would be the best way to get Wild and Innocent Youth and Girls All Like It.
Sure.
Is you put out the first 5 records. You put out those 2 songs. You probably put out Live in Japan, since Live in Japan falls under MCA. And then you just basically would have the same setup as this. You just wouldn't have the Live on the Friday Rock show. So you got to kind of, what bonus stuff can you put on there? Those 2 songs. And you could probably, I would assume MCA still owns the video rights to the 7 Wishes VHS tape, and they did take audio from that and put it on the B-sides to some Big Life singles. So you could probably take some of that and put it on there, and then bam, you have a Night Ranger remastered box set with all the studio albums, the couple, the 2 soundtrack, the Girls All Like It. You could even do the alternate version of Interstate Love Affair, because the one on the soundtrack's different. So there's 3 bonus tracks you got. So anyways, that's just what we were talking about, and I was telling you how well done it was, and there you go. The other thing that we talked about last week was the 2 previous albums and the vinyl. They only did like 500 copies of each, and I said I thought they were done by third parties because they were just standard black vinyl. So here is High Road, and yes, they were released on Frontiers, but Frontiers, this was basically third-partied out by Inner Wound Recordings. So that's who did this one. And then Frontiers basically gave the rights for Don't Let Up to...
That one's got a funky name.
Soul Food.
Yeah, Soul Food.
So this is the first one that Frontiers themselves are releasing on vinyl. So I know we'd mentioned that last week, so I dug them out, and there you are. Brent, what you got, man?
Did someone say vinyl?
No.
We have a brand new record store that just opened up here in the Cincinnati area. And I walked in and they have a full set of Japanese releases. I mean, it's amazing. Never seen so much Japanese stuff in one place in my life. Unless I went to Japan, never been there though. And I walked in, got a first pressing of Dawn Patrol, Boardwalk, $12. Complete with the Obi. It has the lyric sheet in it. And for some reason, they like to make them skydive. Look at that.
Dawn Patrol, man. He's Dawn Patrolling.
Yeah, I never knew there was a maneuver called Dawn Patrolling.
Now,
but anyway,
you know.
Got that. And then I also, did I mention the price on that? $12.
Yeah.
And then I found the first pressing of Midnight Madness with the hype sticker.
Mm-hmm.
$13.
Well, it's
the
got
vinyl was
it's got the hype sticker and what else, Brent?
It has the lyric,
the paper insert
booklet, and it has the little Night Ranger magazine. And this was the whole reason to buy this, because there's your Jack Blades as a centerfold. But anyway, it's got some cool pictures.
It's almost like it's like a little tour.
Tour book. It's really cool. I think, the last page is fits and a collage of photos. A lot of great stuff in there. If you can find that Midnight Madness, I say you buy it.
If you're looking for the Japanese Midnight Madness, obviously you want to make sure it has the Obi strip, but it needs to have the paper insert, which is like the lyric sheet and everything. It needs to have the tour, the little tour program there. And what's different is that doesn't hold the album.
No.
So
it folds open.
Yeah. So in the U.S. version, that's kind of like the
dust sleeve.
Dust sleeve. So you need that insert. You need the tour program little thing, and you need the green hype sticker. That makes it complete. So there you go.
And I guess that's a really killer price, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to. You can get it for less than, between $20 and $25 on eBay and stuff like that. The good thing is he got it for less than that, but he was also able to look at it in person and make sure everything was there and it was in good quality. But yes, generally they're between $20 and $25. You just need to make sure that it has all that stuff with it. There's some stuff with Seven Wishes and Big Life. You just have to go watch the episodes that the Japanese inserts are a little bit rarer and harder to find and make them a little bit more expensive. So go back and watch those episodes if you want to know what they are.
And I actually found a Seven Wishes that Josh didn't have.
He did.
In Japan.
It's I'm not, you know what? We're not telling people what it is. I got to find the damn thing first. It's nothing big.
Well, I can go pick it up for you. Like I said, all you got to do is tell me. I'll go get it.
It's nothing major. It's, but it is different. And I'm an idiot, so I got to get it. So
the OCD kicks in,
We'll tell you guys on the next episode what it is. But that's all we got for the Night Ranger World of Collectibles.
All right, so now we move on to the fans in motion. Brent,
I got a shitload of dings coming. Everybody, fill your cups up. I'll give you a second.
A
super
shitload of dings.
Sweet.
Shitload of dings. Okay, are we ready? Josh, you got your beer ready? Andy, you got your coffee ready?
I do.
Shaping, you ready to go? Dave
Guys, take a big gulp and call it a day.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, Mike Smith has been a champ on the page this week. He had found a box in his garage or an attic or what have you. He's been posting tons of old Circus Magazine stuff, and I know that Circus Magazine, because they used to hang on my wall those same pictures.
I said I had some of those. I can pull them up here.
Yeah, and he had a newspaper article that was really cool. Fitz got to speak on, and they were talking about stainless steel rock and roll. That they were trying to, I don't know what trademark for their brand of music. And he also posted a German Midnight Madness cassette that I know that Josh has, I'm sure, the Belafonte series.
I don't think I have that one, but Nadelman does.
Oh, Nadelman! I knew somebody said they had it.
Well, the reason why I remember Nadelman having it is, and I'm pretty sure this is right. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it was Nadelman because.
Let's wait for it.
It is, if you look, it's in a different sequence. So, like, let's say side A is Sister Christian, then Touch of Madness or something, and that was the first copy he ever bought was that copy. So for like a decade, that running order was his Midnight Madness. So now anything after that just sounds weird to him. The regular version. That's how.
Sure.
But I do not have that cassette tape. I do not think. I'm pretty sure I don't.
Well, it's pretty cool.
Unless Mike Smith mails it to me.
Yeah, he could. You never know.
I don't want to
do some more of that Elvis Blades. He might.
Hey, you know what?
Okay.
I will sign these and send them to you, Mike.
And we have a group effort here. They don't know it's a group effort, but it's going to be. We had Tammy Schmidt-Allen, Mila Hiles, Lori Pierce, and Glenn Bogan. They all attended the South Dakota?
Boone, Iowa.
Boone, Iowa.
Was it Boone, Iowa?
I don't know what.
No, it was the other one, the first one.
Again,
that was
1 year.
Ron
1
Keel
year
used to.
Oh, well, yeah. It was South Dakota.
South Dakota. Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah. They all because Glenn posted pictures of the sound check, and Lori posted pictures of her, and I don't know if it was her daughter, her friend. She had Brad, and the other one had Gillis on their shirts, and they posted. People were posting videos, so that you people were great. Thank you for taking care of the page.
Lori went live on the page a couple times. I was trying to keep up with it, and it's going to be weird when we go to. A show, and for the first time we see two ladies with Brent, and then the other one's got Walter. It's just
it's bound to happen, and or we'll see two guys with Josh I gave his hand There'll need to be 3 guys because of the name's
Hey.
so long at the end.
I can still turn a head, man. I don't care.
That's
Hey,
right.
Love is love, man.
So, anyways, yeah, Andy, you're not going to get any shirts, man. It's just going to be.
Look,
You know
I'm
what?
not that important to the page. I am. I just moderate this beginning and sit back and
You know
let
what?
it happen.
Me and Brent will do it, man. We'll do the Andy Parker shirts. But
I'm gonna wear the shirt that says "Say Hello," and Josh is gonna have his name Josh on it. That way, it works 2 different ways for him.
people just care that we wear shirts. Really, I mean, they don't give a shit what it says. But
okay,
what do we got next?
Moving along, and I'm not mispronouncing this. This is what his name is on Facebook. John W. Tiny. He posted the Niigata Ranger vid. That was the Japanese tribute band, the other Japanese tribute band this week. And that's fun stuff. I love seeing stuff from overseas and these guys doing this. I think he even had some of the same members as the other band. It might even been the same band. The guy had a wig on, but he was playing bass, and the other guy wasn't playing bass that was singing before. Carrie Ann Suffin, nice Damn Yankees jacket.
Yeah.
I know Andy would like to have that patch do one on his own.
Yeah.
Dan Market, man, he tracked down Ed Repepe at the concert and also got a picture of Richie. So that's what Ed and Richie get for coming on the show. But it was really cool that Ed took the time to hang out with Dan for at least a picture. If not more, I have no idea. But that was really cool. Thanks for posting that, Dan. And then we had Paula Cava. She had posted some Boone, Iowa pictures. I wrote Boone, Indiana. Boone, Iowa. Thank you. I had it in order right.
You know what? I would bet a significant amount of money that there is a Boone, Indiana, though. There's probably a fucking Boone anywhere, Kentucky. Well, there's one in Kentucky, but
there's Boone County, Ohio. So
I was gonna say anywhere. That Daniel Boone, that fucker got around, man.
And we have two more shout outs. Brian Holland. He shared those American Rock Festival pics of Brad and Jeff from 35 years ago. And other people started posting pictures that they had from that. So that was cool. Thank you, Brian. And this one is a Japanese fan emotion.
Say it.
I'm going to say it perfect. Yasuyuki Kayo Ueda. Now, when I say Yasuyuki, now I fucked it up. Yasuyuki, what he did was he posted a picture of the store he pre-ordered his CD from. And the band played on. And his comment was he likes to do the pre-order so that way the people working in the store, since they don't have Night Ranger, they have to know that something's coming out and it's Night Ranger. It's his way of getting people to know. It was like when I walked into, what was that store that just shut down? That they're all in the malls. I don't even.
Spencer's?
No, the record store.
Camelot?
No. Recent. It's a new store.
FYE.
FYE. For Your Entertainment. And I walked in the day the Jack Blade's last solo CD came out. And the guy goes, "What you looking for?" I said, "Jack Blades." He went, "Is that classical? Is that?" I went, "No, it's rock and roll." And they had one copy. Thank God I got it. But anyway, so yeah, I understood what he meant by that.
One thing on the page that I shared, I got from Jeff's page, was Jeff had shared this photo, and I had never seen it.
Well, I think that came from I think somebody, because if you looked at Mike Smith's post, that picture was in one of the posts, and I was wondering if they just blew it up and shared it with him, or maybe Mike shared it. I don't know.
Mike might have shared it with Jeff. I just know I've never seen it. So, and it had to be somewhat early on because Fitz isn't doing the whole shades and stuff. But then Jeff brought up a good point that Jack wasn't wearing the glasses because the first Ranger photo that we know of that's on that flyer Jack has still got his Rubicon glasses on for Ranger. Now, Fitz is wearing, Fitz is wearing sunglasses, but not a hat in that photo. So it's somewhere, early on. So it's just a photo that I'd never seen. And if you guys get a chance, I'm sure you guys have already on there, but go to the Facebook Night Ranger page and click like or follow. I posted this today. And what is great is if you go to the comments, people are posting some of their concert photos and stuff from back then, some meet and greets from the 80s. So it's kind of neat seeing, here's someone's, whoa. Well, okay, I was going to say it's not as old as I thought, but this is like someone just posted a Night Ranger Eddie Money.
Cow Palace, yeah.
Yeah, so go there, then just go through the comments and you'll see all kinds of cool photos. I'm trying to see if I can get to one real quick. This is not as old, but there's, someone posted them with Brad. But there were some record store signings from like Seven Wishes and stuff that was really, really cool. So there you go, some Fans in Motion stuff.
That's what's cool when people post this stuff. It just brings everybody else out of the woodwork.
Yeah, it's one of the things I love about the page is just seeing, again, when we thought we were the only few people that still cared about Night Ranger and had pictures on our walls, and then you see other people's collections and photos, and you're like, well, shit, I don't have anything compared to some of these people. So I love seeing the stuff. And I like seeing stuff that I actually still have. Like, hey, I got that picture of my little scrapbook. I could dig that out and show it to you.
Well, what was cool was, and I don't have her name. I couldn't find it before I made the list up. She's in Florida. She posted a picture of herself, and she was wearing the 7 strings or whatever, and the drummer. Yeah. With the logo shirt for that. And she had a picture of her and her friend, I guess, from the 80s. And then they're at this Night Ranger show together doing the pose, saying, you know what I mean? It's just cool seeing that stuff. People that still do care. She was like front row and they were playing some like municipal buildings, what it looked like. It looked like they were on the staircase.
Yeah.
So I apologize. I don't have your name on that, but it was a very cool post.
What's great too is when I posted that on the Night Ranger page, all I could think was, hey, those are Melissa Collins'
pants. Yeah. And it's 24 strings, not 7 strings. Well,
it's math. We give you a pass.
I got that George Bush fuzzy math.
We got the public school education math. All right, so that's it. Anything else?
Ding.
No. So let's move on. Let's celebrate 1 year, 5,000 fans and Motion members. Josh, I don't know what you got planned. I'm excited. This is kind of a shock. We're going to see what's happening. Reminisce. Talk.
What's this?
He's got the Elvis vibe, man.
Scatting.
Put the glasses on, man. You'll do good.
Yeah,
we don't really know what we're doing. We like I said, we got some little guests on at the end, and I figured we will just bullshit a little bit, talk about 1 year. We got this page up and running April 15th, and I think I had kind of set a goal for the podcast to be like going by June 15th. And that wasn't right away. We had talked about, me and Brent had talked some about it. And, but
here, I'll post the banner that I made. I'll find it here real quick. Keep talking.
We got it going in like the last week of May, and we did like a 0 episode. So really the first week of June was our number 1 episode. But I just figured we'll kind of just go through the episodes, go through the year, and just kind of do a progression of what we've done and where we've been. And, so like I said, our first episode was the 0 episode.
Yeah.
Where we just basically introduced ourselves and talked about how we became Night Ranger fans. And our first 4 episodes were recorded. So episodes 0, 1, 2, and 3 were recorded on my old operating system and an old recording system. So you can see a difference in them. We don't have the intros and all the photos being included. So it's definitely different with those 3 episodes. So our first one was episode 0, where we just talk about ourselves. Fittingly, episode 1 was the origins of Dawn Patrol and Night Ranger, where we talk about Rubicon.
Yeah.
And we talked about Dawn Patrol. So we did that. When we did that, it's like, okay, how are we going to make this last so many episodes? There was Dawn Patrol, and we did the next one was our first ranking one. There we go. Look how shitty those logos are, Brent.
I know. Hey.
Jesus.
There's even a shittier one I found.
Well, we're good. Just those ones are shitty enough for us. You need to practice and get a little bit better. Episode 2, where we rank our top 12 favorite Night Ranger albums. Now, if we do that here in a couple months, it's going to be 13. Lucky 13.
Yeah.
So, and someone just commented on this, I guess, 6 days ago. Let's read this comment. Mick Watkins. Awesome episode. First one I've watched, and I really enjoyed this. Mick, it gets worse. Growing up in the late 80s and 90s, my dad was a huge Night Ranger fan. The music was played all the freaking time. I'm not the biggest or most knowledgeable Night Ranger fan. Neither is Brent, but here recently I've been searching out their music more, and they are hitting me pretty hard. It's because they fucking rock. The only album that I have from this collection is Dawn Patrol, and I think I'm going to start collecting their CDs. Looking forward to the new album. Keep up the good work, guys. Mick, thank you for listening, and hey, that's a good episode to jump in on. June 9th, 2020 is when that episode premiered. Most of you guys probably already know that by heart. Episode 3, man, we jumped into the history of Midnight Madness. So like our first 3 episodes, we knocked out 2 albums. It's like, okay, we got to figure something out.
Stretch
out here and get this, stretched out. Episode 4 is where we kind of got the new operating system, and we did our first interview. Greg Eckler, drummer for Rubicon. Greg went back the farthest with Jack Blades, all the way back to the first time I know that he's on any recording, which was his Christian band, Psalm 150. So Greg was great. He gave us Yahoos our first interview, some great stories. Unfortunately, he passed away in November, but it's great that we got that story on tape or whatever you want to say. And I always remember it too, because one of the coolest things about doing this, and Andy and Brent can attest to this, is the first time you see them on the screen. It's cool. There's no other way to describe it. It's different. It's like, whoa, there's Kelly Kagier, there's Joel Hoekstra. And I had just got that operating system, and Greg, being older, he didn't really understand how Skype worked. So the night before, we tested it, and I was in my kitchen. I had my laptop up there. My boy was eating, and it was the first time ever doing it, setting up for an interview. So Greg was the first person I ever got to kind of see on the other end of my computer, and bam, all of a sudden it's Greg Eckler from Rubicon, who I've had on these records for decades. And we're talking, and we start talking about baseball. He's talking to my son behind me, and just, one of those things that kicked off our interviews, and it was a good time. And unfortunately, Andy, I don't think you got to sit in on that one, but Brent, I know you did, and I know you had a good time talking to Greg.
Yeah, I remember telling Andy, I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know anything about the guy other than he's a drummer. He plays Rogers drums and yada, yada, yada. I don't know what I'm going to have to add. Greg made it really easy just to sit back, and listen to him. And he would always say something that you'd have to, okay, Greg, what about that? what about that? He's just he
Oh,
was.
hey. I'm sorry to interrupt because I will fucking forget. I got to tell you guys this. Remember the story Greg told about being at the Monterey Pop Festival and the Mickey Dolans and the Oranges? Listen to this shit.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, I'm reading an article on Turner Movie Classics website because naturally that's what I do all the time. And
Nerd.
so, and it's an interview with Mickey Dolans. I don't know exactly why it was on Turner Movie Classics, but it was. And they're talking about stuff, and somehow the Monterey Pop Festival came up. And he talks about going to this warehouse afterwards where all the bands were playing. And he mentions buying a crate of oranges.
Really?
And it's just like, I know about those oranges. And it's just amazing how everything came full circle. And, because you kind of wonder, like, well, was it really Mickey Dolenz and oranges?
Yeah.
And sure as shit, somewhere in this article, I'll have to find it and send it to you guys. It's just a week ago I saw it. And because the Monkees they're going to do a farewell tour, so that's where all this press is coming from. But yeah, he mentioned buying a crate of oranges because everybody was hungry and stuff, and it made me think of old Greg. And
That's great.
because he said the oranges might have been a little spiked, but
Yeah, they were spiked exactly.
But by
Greg, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Saying what I was saying when you said I got to tell the story. He's a sweetheart of a man, and he will be missed. He is missed.
Yeah.
I am so happy. After we got done speaking to him, I called Andy. I said, "God, I wish you would have been there." The guy was just so warm and loving. He loved speaking to us. We're two yahoos in Ohio, and he had an Ohio connection, believe it or not, and just salt of the earth kind of guy. And I can't wait till we can speak to Jack Blade sometimes, because I want to hear Jack's version of the story where he's playing bass for Sly. When Greg brought him there and he was playing and Sly, I want to hear what was going on in Jack's head when he was doing that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Cool.
And of course the TV Guide story that we're going to save for some other day.
Wednesday. So by episode 5, we had already gotten our first current member of Night Ranger, Mr. Eric Levy. Eric Levy did a 2-part episode with us.
Yep.
So episodes 5 and 6 we did with Eric, and since then he's been a friend of the show. And one of our more popular episodes was episode 7, where we discussed the unreleased third Damn Yankees album, Bravo. So that's been a popular one. We did 7 Wishes with episode 8. So by episode 8, we'd already hit the first 3 studio albums. Episode 9, man, we celebrated 1,000 members. Man, we were big shit.
What's the date on that? Do you have that?
It's 10 months ago. July 28th is when that was released. Episode 10 was Collecting Dawn Patrol. Episode 11, Night Ranger Time Travel. What should have been a single.
I missed that episode. I would have liked to be part of that one.
It was all right. I mean, it filled a slot.
Yeah.
Episode 12 was Don't Tell Me Your Set List, where we, I think, pictured what the set list would be in 2021 if COVID went away. We put in there we didn't know if they'd be releasing a new album or not. We started hitting the big time again with episodes 13 and 14. Mr. Joel Hoekstra, former guitarist for Night Ranger, The Turtles, and current guitarist for White Snake.
Yeah.
And Cher.
Don't forget Cher. Episode 15, Big Life. So by episode 15, we kind of stopped doing those for a while. So episode 15, there we are. And And amazingly enough, one of our most watched episodes was episode 16, which was where we answered questions from the page, and we titled it "Why Jeff and Fitz Are No Longer in the Band."
Yeah.
And I just
that was a little misleading. I think people took that, and I guess they thought we had some answers.
Well, we did. We talked. You know,
Good,
I mean,
yeah.
why Jeff and Fitz are not in the band, and other viewer questions. I basically read both press releases at the time, and then inferred a little bit. So yeah, that was one of our most watched. Episode 17, David Lauser from the Sammy Hagar Band came in and told us some great early stories of Ranger. If you're a Night Ranger fan, you want to hear these early stories.
Yeah.
You go listen to those David Lauser interviews. Go listen to part 1 and part 2. Definitely, they get into it. Those are episodes 17 and 18. Episode 5150, which is the silent episode 19, was our tribute to Eddie Van Halen, which was, you know, I mean, just.
That's an episode I didn't want to have to do.
Like
it's one of those
things. Like I remember where I was when I heard on the radio, you know, Eddie had died. No, I don't think I heard it on the radio. I saw it on my phone, and I was driving, and I was listening. They were doing Van Halen on the radio, and it was weird because we just talked to Lauser and had all those Van Halen stories and everything.
Yeah.
Episode.
Yeah, and that was, I think, that day we got on and recorded that episode, didn't we?
We recorded that evening. Yeah.
Yeah, that evening.
Episode, because we had something else planned, and we just decided to. Episode 20 is we list and explore all the Night Ranger bonus tracks and rarities. So if you're looking for more Night Ranger stuff, that's a good one to go back to. An episode that no one really watched. You know, I mean, I guess it's, yeah, you know, it's, but whatever. I don't know. So it's weird when we pick things because you think, this is kind of like no one's going to pay attention to this, and then it goes, you know, it's hot. And then you think something that we do will be, that's a good topic, and then like people just give us the finger. Is where we ranked our favorite tracks from Dawn Patrol, which though did, you know, come with one of our trademarks. You know, was it less trousers, more cocaine, or more cocaine, less trousers?
Yeah, that's where that came from.
That would be that episode, because I ranked "Can't Find Me a Thrill" ahead of Eddie's Coming Out Tonight.
Eddie.
And my basis was, you know, I liked "Can't Find Me a Thrill" because it was kind of it's a grittier Night Ranger song lyrically, and it's like it's got the word cocaine in it. Eddie's Coming Out Tonight. It's a great song, but it's got the word trousers, and it's just I can't rock to someone singing about trousers, you know, and it's like. I think I must have said something like, you know, more cocaine, less trousers, and then it just kind of
it stuck.
It kind of took off. I need to trademark that episode.
Plus, it has some of our best cover art to date on that episode.
It does.
If that's
brag.
one of, is that the one where we're in the woods?
We are in the woods. Episodes 22, 23, Glenn Burtnick, where we basically talked to Glenn. It was just me, and I think Brent, you were sick, and
I didn't have a voice,
which was I remember it. I mean, you know, it was beautiful, and you know, it's just like
I got a finger though.
I'm praying to baby Jesus, like, don't let him get better. But
I had no voice,
guys. I mean, listen, I cannot tell you, everybody at home, it was so beautiful. I mean, Andy, he won't admit it, but he's like, you know, he's like, dude, my prayers have been answered. This has been my birthday wish for the last 35 years. We thought we had it going. It was going to be good, but unfortunately, not only did he have a recovery, but it was speedy. It was like a double whammy. But Glenn,
I had lost my voice for a week.
It was beautiful. October
it'll
7th,
it'll happen again too.
It was October 17th at about 6:23 when I remember when, you know, his voice really started going down, and it was about October 23rd, about 4:08, in the afternoon where it started getting better. Not that I think back on that a lot and really
marked it in your calendars.
And fucking cry sometimes when I think of it. But
right here, here's the text from Josh in October. I can't wait to hear the subtle tones of your voice again. It's so delightful. It really makes me question myself at times. We miss you. Love, Josh.
Well, I didn't write love. I put a fucking heart in XOXO, but whatever.
I mean,
but
you gotta read between the lines there.
But eggplant. But we got Glenn Burtnick on there to give us the perspective from Styx, the Styx camp, when Tommy Shaw was with Damn Yankees with Jack Blades. Episode 24, The History of Man in Motion. So the first half of our episodes, we were already through the classic albums. My favorite cover art you ever did was the Fans in Motion, episode 25, the songs Jack Blades has written outside of the group. In episode 26, we rank our top 10 favorite Kelly, as Andrew would pronounce it, Keegi songs. Episode 27, we rank and discuss every Night Ranger album cover. Yeah, that was fucking exciting. Episode we got 28, 29, and 30. We did a 3-part series with Gary Moon, former bassist and vocalist for Night Ranger from 91 to 96. Gary is a good guy, friend of the show. Episode 31, Kiss 2020 Goodbye, where we just bullshit and talk Night Ranger, man. Kind of like what we are now.
Yeah.
And probably our best episode was the first one of 2021. That was my first one to get a copyright claim. Fuck you, fuckers. We had Eric Levy of Night Ranger place his favorite Fitz riffs. So there you go. Look up episode 32 because that was
fun.
A lot of these episodes, I mean, all of them were fun, but there's a good streak. It's kind of started with that were really good with because the next episode was Brandon Etheridge, Ranger for a Weekend, or whatever we called it, Ranger for a Weekend interview with Brandon Etheridge. Brandon has played with some of the best official Queen tribute bands and replaced Eric Levy for a series of dates over a weekend in 2012. Episode 34, we ranked our favorite tracks from Neverland. And what do we got? Episode 35, again, we had David Lauser on because he's a friend of the show. Episode 36, we kind of did a episode where we brought up Midnight Madness vinyl, collecting it with the colored vinyl release at the time. So 2021 started off good with that vinyl release of the colored vinyl for Midnight Madness, and then late 2020 we had the purple Dawn Patrol. Episode 37, Tristan Avakian. Very good episode, very interesting guy. Replaced Joel Hoekstra for some shows throughout 2011 and 2012. Episodes 38, 39, we did our favorite Night Ranger concert stories. So if you really want to get to know these three yahoos that you're looking at and listening to right now, that's another good set of episodes, 38 and 39.
Is 39 still our most viewed show?
View-wise, not minute-wise, but view-wise, yes. Episode 40, we talked to Tom Shannon from the Rockologist about vinyl licensing. Episode 41, one that I'm proud of, is we tracked down Britt Gilmore of the original Rangers, the group that had the name The Rangers, where Night Ranger basically had to change your name from Ranger to Night Ranger. Good old boy from Tennessee, I hope to see this fall. He follows us on the Instagram Fans in Motion page. He hasn't been following much because I haven't done much, but we're going to change that because, I posted a couple things the last few days. Episode 42, David Lauser was on again because he's a friend of the show. Episode 43, 44, and 45 was where we kind of like, if there was a mountain, this is where we hit the crest, and it was Kelly Kagi. We finally had an original member on the show, and we did a Night Ranger interview. It was the first hour we talked to him, we barely got out of the 60s. Part 3, when it ended, we were just getting to the release of Dawn Patrol.
Yep.
Yeah.
So those are the most extensive Kelly Kagi interviews you will get. 43, 44, and 45. Episode 46, we do the breakup years, 89 and 90. So that's kind of back to like doing those album focuses. We kind of talk about some of the projects that they've done in those 2 years, basically leading back up to the formation of Damn Yankees and the reformation of Night Ranger with Gary Moon. Episode 47, we bring back a friend of the podcast, current Night Ranger keyboardist Eric Levy, and we rank Midnight Madness.
There he is with the Spitz gear on.
There
see him.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll never forget when we came up with that idea. I think Josh came up with it. He said, "Whatever you do, you got to put Eric Levy in the scrubs. You got to do that."
Yep.
I'm like, I'll get it done.
Eric, like I said, we're coming close to the 40th anniversary of Midnight Madness, and he's got to wear scrubs at least for something. Episode 48, collecting the singles from Seven Wishes. That was the start of our downfall because we were all fucked up on that episode, and it hasn't been the same since.
That was fun.
Episode 49, The Man, the Myth, the Legend, interview with Night Ranger tour manager Ed Repepe. Edward is the man. Episode 50, we do a deep album dive into the 1990 self-titled release, Damn Yankees. Episode 51, Richie Russo, drum and keyboard tech. So we start getting you guys behind the curtain there. And then our last episode, episode 52, the press release for the new Night Ranger album, and the band played on. So there you go. That's 1 year of talking about Night Ranger. How fucking great is that?
I tell you what's
doing it.
No, and it's always funny is friends of ours, mine and Brent, and people I work with are always like, "How could you talk about Night Ranger so much?" And I was like, easy. I don't know. We love this band, and we sit down here and for hours and hours and talk, and I never tire of it. Like, we tell me the same stories. I'm like, yeah, tell me again. I'll listen to it.
Yeah, the best reaction was just, recently at your mother's services.
Yeah.
When our friend, we call him Herb, his name's Brian Urban. Herb used to look like, what's his face? Sebastian. In fact, he walked down to Bogart's when Skid Row was in town, and all the girls flocked him because they thought he was Sebastian. And I think he signed autographs. But anyway, he's like a heavy hitter in downtown Cincinnati and busts all the drug dealers and what have you. Got real short hair. But he's got this asshole look about him. When he's going to start making fun of you when he does this.
Yeah.
He goes,
his wheels are turning.
And he's like, "You do a podcast about fucking Night Ranger? Why?" And he knows that Andy and I have been, when we go back, high school friends.
He's just busting chops.
Yeah, and he doesn't dislike Night Ranger. He's just fucking with us, and it's we welcome it. We help.
Yeah,
it's like Josh. It was nice that you texted me, Josh. I do appreciate that, by the way. Now that it's public.
What's that?
Yeah. When you text me about my voice, my subtle tones, and
that's just a template I have. I send that to everybody.
Yeah.
So
anyway, yeah, it's real fun. when your friends can bust your balls. Josh, I know you have people that we don't know that probably do the same thing to you, or you just don't tell them.
They know right away if they talk shit about Night Ranger, they're gonna get the clap, man.
It's a throat punch, brother. Let me tell you something, brother.
So they know. If I say something about Night Ranger, they all know to say, dude, I love Call My Name. They may not even know what Call My Name is, but they know.
They've been coached up.
Not to mention Sister Christian, because they will get the back of my hand. Guys, we're going to take a little break right here. And our first guest that we're bringing in is one of the original guests, whatever you want to say, who came to Fans in Motion and realized how great we actually were before the rest of the world did. And that is the person that people call David Lauser, but we call Bro. David, thank you for coming on the 1 year anniversary special.
My pleasure. And you know what blows my mind? It's been a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's we talked to you.
Well, I think we talked to you in early September, so it's almost been a year for us. Our podcast started right at the end of May, so it'll be a year before you know it. We'll just blink our eyes a couple times.
It's been a year since I reached out to you when we were trying to find your friend. And as you know, and what was great was Josh and I got to talking and said, man, Dave would be great for this show. And I emailed you back, and you obliged, and I can't thank you enough.
You know what it is? It's like, of course, the COVID thing we all know about, but 2021 seems like the year that I moved in here, but actually it was 2020 that I moved into this new place. So that year is like kind of like it's like whatever. So I will be living here as of January. I've been here a year and a half. Good God. I've been here January 20th, 2020. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So what have you been up to since last time we talked in, let's say, January?
Here's what I've been up to.
Oh,
Alliance getting together to do a new record. Can you believe that?
You
really?
Are.
Well, I'm into it. What is a new record? Anyway, I play a little bass, and Gary Peel and I came up with the song. I'm not going to talk about it right now because you guys might steal it.
What?
Josh is bad at that.
We write over the internet, as you know, as a lot of bands do. So he sent me some lyrics, and I fiddled with them, and I don't know. It was like I didn't think I had it in me. It's been so long. I got on my drums, and I started thinking about the idea, and next thing you know, I came up with some stuff. So that's what I've been doing, besides putting in a fence for my wife.
Well, the last time you were planting trees when you were on here.
Let me tell you, man, I am like, I'm sore.
So this new Alliance record, you guys are going to have to reach out to the former Alliance keyboardist, Mr. Alan Fitzgerald, and see if you can't coax him on there.
Well, I'm not holding my breath on that. And we're planning on getting together in late July, mid to late July, just to get together in a room. Each of us have a few songs. Actually, I just have a piece of one. Robert's got some songs, and when we get together, we're just going to see what happens. So it'll be fun to get together, period.
All right. Yeah, hopefully you guys play a couple live shows like you did in St. Louis a few years ago. I'd definitely like to make it out and see a couple Alliance live performances.
There's always that chance.
Well,
awesome.
So what else besides the new Alliance record that you guys are going to start working on? What else you been up to?
Yeah, I have tales to tell, but really the main thing as a drummer and a musician, as you guys can relate to, I played my first live gig like in front of people, like real people, not on a video screen, no offense. You guys are real, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so in 2020, before the poop hit the fan, as it were, Sam invited me to do his acoustic for a cure, and it was going to be really cool. It was going to be Dave Mason from Traffic. This was going to be May 2020. Well, duh.
Yeah.
At the Fillmore in San Francisco. Come on. So that got canceled. Everything got canceled. So he got a hold of me again and said, bro, because the COVID stuff is lightening up. Well, he said the COVID shit. But anyway, it's lightening up. I want to do it again. And it'll probably be somewhere in the Bay Area, but it cannot be indoors. So I said, hey, I'm really happy to do this. You know, and I hadn't played. The last time I played in front of people, I'm embarrassed to say it, but I guess it's not my fault, was at the Cabo Wabo Birthday Bash in 2019. Now, I did some recording sessions after that, but you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a wonderful, great memory. That was a nice last gig if it was going to be a last gig. So it'd been like, if you do the math, it was like, good God, it was like 14 months. Anyway, he invited me, but something screwed up or whatever, and he held it in Southern California at this person's house who evidently is quite wealthy and a philanthropist. And she and he hold all kinds of benefits at their place. It was like in Orange County, Mission Viejo. I don't know if I go there. I drive through there to go to the beach, but it was this house was amazing. Not to talk about that, but I mean, it was like, oh, okay. Anyways, at Hearst Castle or something. So a lot of the people that were going to play on this didn't come because it was like in the Bay Area, it was local, right? The Metallica guys or whatever. But who came to this was, I'll tell you, was Train, the band Train, without a drummer, and Rick Springfield.
Oh man!
And I played Jesse's Girl, me and Mono, and I've Done Everything for You with Rick. He was really cool. The funny thing I got to tell you, that whether it's boring or not for us drummers, when Sam came down here before COVID, he came to my new house. We hung out. He was down here. He's got relatives about an hour from here. He came over to my house and we jammed. He sat and played with a couple of my guitars. I got on my kit, and he loved the way my kit sounded, all padded up. He goes, bro, the acoustic for a cure thing, when you do it, you got to use this kit. I go, well, Sam, all I do is put these Vic Firth pads on it. And I don't want to say what brand of cymbals because I don't want to talk about that. I'm a Peisty guy, but I had these quiet cymbals, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So what I did was, before the gig, he demanded, he said, let me tell you what we do. When drummers come in, he said, Tommy Lee did it one year, and he had these things, you know, the wooden sticks, they're like brushes.
Yeah.
And he said, it pissed me off. He overamped, and by halfway through the set, he broke all those things that were all over the place, and he didn't have any sticks. You know, so if you got to have a quiet kit. So I went, okay. He guaranteed it wouldn't be loud. I couldn't believe it. I thought, yeah, right. I'm going to show up with this tired ass, not beat up, but muted down. Yeah. So I spent about a day, a couple hours actually, on cutting these things out. I started with small circles, and I kept doing it until the drum was pretty quiet, but still had a little tone, kind of like Ringo on something. The tunes, the way the drums sound, kind of. Anyway, so I show up to the gig, and sure enough, Rick Springfield plugs into an amp with the Strat. And Mona's got electric bass. I'm like, God, no, man.
Yeah.
So out front, it sounded great because they mic'd everything. My drums sounded good. They were just really quiet. And, I'm sitting there beating the crap out of it, thinking, dude, don't do that. It ain't getting any louder.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that was interesting doing that. But Sam was like pleased with it. He was like, bro, this is the best kit, man. he scared me. He says, if your kit's too loud, we bring in this kit that Bob Weir from Grateful Dead or whatever has. It's like ugly as shit, and it's an electric kit, and it's, they just turn the knob up or whatever. So I went, I don't want to play that. So, but the gig went really well, and had a blast. I mean, even though it was like a semi-private benefit, playing in front of people, like, real people, and like, and REO, the guys from REO Speedwagon did it too. Kevin Cronin and Bill D'Amato.
Well,
and,
it was good, because I saw some of the photos that you had posted online, and it was just good seeing you guys out there playing again, because that was the first time I think you had played, obviously, since we had talked. And now, when you talk to Sammy next time, I need you to ask him a favor. I need him to go through his vaults, and I want to hear Soul Miner.
Say what?
I want to hear Soul Miner.
Oh, you mean Soul Mining?
Soul Mining, yes, that one.
I didn't know what you were talking about. I go, right on, brother, Soul Miner. Yeah,
yeah, Soul Mining. That,
I don't know where the hell that is, dude.
Well, there you go. You tell us.
I have a demo of my demo of it, which is like god awful, but I mean, it's cool. But that reel to reel, God knows where that is.
Tell Sammy that's what you want for your birthday this year.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. he'll say, bro, no can do, and he'll send me a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Whatever. But, I got to dig that up. That would be a trip. If I find it, I'm not saying you're going to put it on the air, but I may play it for you.
Well, cool. I enjoy it, because you said that was during the Marching to Mars rehearsals or demos, right?
Yeah.
So I enjoy that album, and if Sammy wanted to, work on it, I know it's got to be good to at least start working on it. So find that record for me, Dave.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have a copy of that with me, Sam, Jesse Harms. I think I played bass on it, drums. Sam played guitar, Jesse played keyboards, and Sam, Jesse, and I sang it. Sam wanted to make it like a Sly Stone song where everybody sang a different part, like how Sly and the Family Stone would be, like Larry Graham would, I'm going to play some bottom, and then somebody, wherever, they all take a turn. He made it into kind of like a goofy soul tune, which I was like, no, this is supposed to be, but whatever, they were going to cut it, but it didn't make the record. But what we did at the plant was Bootsy Collins played bass on it. Now, I wish I had that guy was a trip. But anyway,
Well, there we go. We need you to house sit for Sammy. Go through the vault and find us those demos. Dave, again, thank you for coming on. Like I said, we're celebrating our 1 year. We started as just a little tiny little baby of a Facebook page and podcast, and now we are on track for world domination. And you did help.
Oh, God, yeah.
The checks are going to start coming in.
You have no idea how many PMs I got. People saying how much they loved you.
I'll give you 10%, Andy. You work it for me.
Yeah, dude. Look, I'll send you my tore up drum rods I got here.
Oh, that's what they're called. Is that what they're called?
I actually have mine sitting here next to me. The one that Tommy used. These
are great, though. I love the way these things sound. Whatever. Anyway. Well, it's really a pleasure talking to you guys, and I can't wait to see some more of the video, and I can't believe it's a year. Congratulations on hooking up with the Night Ranger Army. As it was. By the way, hello to my brothers, Jack and Kelly and Brad. Wildman Brad. I don't know the other.
Dave, thank you for coming on. Keep us informed of the Alliance stuff, and we'll definitely have you back on again. You're pretty much the fourth co-host and a friend of the show. Ding.
Absolutely.
Dave?
All right, guys.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Oh, it's a real thing. It's got to be real.
Joining us, another guest on our 1-year podcast anniversary episode is the one and only, the now world famous Night Ranger tour manager, Ed Repepe. Edward, you don't like
Sure.
Edward. You just like Ed.
Oh.
Ed, thank you
My
for
mom called me Edward once. Once.
Ed, thank you for coming back on the show and celebrating 1 year with us. What did we catch you doing, my friend?
I'm booking flights to Filer, Idaho.
Filer, Idaho, the center of the universe, as they call it.
Yes.
Hey, Ed, I don't need to be
Yeah.
first class, so if you just get me a coach seat, I'll be fine.
Listen.
Out of
and
Nashville,
And
BNA.
it's funny because I'm booking Howard right now, and it says he's got to take 2 flights to get there. 2 stops, 3 planes. Yes.
Wow.
Oh yes.
So what's going
Yes.
on in Filer, Idaho? The
Night
center.
Ranger is playing Gordy's Highway 30 Music Festival.
Well, I tell you what. Not only is Highway 30 good and a great highway, Gordy is a pretty good person as well. So you get the combination of Gordy and the Highway 30 Music Festival.
Gordy's the promoter.
What date are they playing? Because it's a music festival running from June 23rd through the 26th. What night is Night Ranger playing?
The 24th.
The 24th. So there you go. If you are just out and about and you end up in Idaho, June 24th, Filer,
Yeah, three flights later, you could be there.
you know, or
Poor Ryan. You should see his flights.
That's the worst, man. Trying to
Oh.
catch planes and, especially if he's on a schedule, on a tight schedule.
Mine flight was going to be Cleveland to Chicago, Chicago to Denver, Denver to Twin Falls, Idaho. Yes, look at your faces, all
Yeah.
3 of you.
Well, what's great was
Jeez.
Wow.
always flying to, like, when I was in the military, flying to these remote bases, and you would do, like, Columbus to Denver to somewhere, and then the last, flight would be on these little, like, Richie Valens planes.
Yeah, the
You
guy's
know?
like, wham, okay, we're ready, let's
Yep,
go.
and
Oh, with chickens and everything on there?
and it's like,
Oh, puddle jumpers.
Crap out of me.
yeah, it's like, all right, this thing
My
has.
fat ass is not built for them things.
What you ought to do is you ought to tell Howard that he's going to take skydiving lessons. That's how he's going to arrive as you're
Howard-
flying over.
Howard, we can knock $30 off if they don't land.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You ought to send him some information on it. That'd be hysterical.
Like,
Yeah.
You ever seen MASH? Those choppers? Yeah.
Yep.
He'll be laying in the jump seat.
No doubt.
yeah, like from Twin Falls to Gordy's house, you're going to see a guy. He's going to have a '76 F-150.
You ever seen
That's
DB Cooper?
that's Gordy's brother Bubba. He's a good guy. Just throw your shit in the back, and
Just trust him.
If you don't say anything about Conway Twitty playing in his radio, because that is his one thing that will set him off. And
Is it?
Just oh yeah, you got to make the story believable. So.
yeah.
That's how you're getting. That's your last segment of transportation to get to the show. Gordy's,
Josh PTSD's kicking in from Iraq.
Gordy's going to be picking you up, man. Don't mention anything about Conway Twitty, though.
And when he jumps, it's not X marks the spot, it's I, because they ran out of paint.
It's just, one line.
Yeah, one line.
Go for
Man,
it.
you guys are in a
This is what you get. It's all unrehearsed, you know.
But we,
Just so you know, we're 9:00 at night, not 9:00 in the morning. Which
Yeah, well,
better.
I thank you for that this
Wow.
time, by the way.
if it was if it was
See, I'm awake.
if it was
so.
9 a.m., we wouldn't be as sober.
So, yeah,
this
that's what I'm
this is pretty groundbreaking because I'm pretty sure that no one really knows that Night Ranger was playing in 3 weeks. It's so there you go. You got some
Exclusive.
some exclusive Night Ranger.
Do they know?
That's
Have you told
probably
them yet?
that's actually a very reasonable.
That's his
question.
next email.
Yeah.
Hey
guys.
update.
Listen,
So what's going on? What are we talking about here?
We're talking about 1 year, man. We've
1 year.
survived 1 year. I have gotten no letters from Jack Blade's attorney, which I would have lost the over/under on that. We're going strong. We hit our pinnacle when we had Ed Repepe, the tour manager for Night Ranger, on our podcast. So it's all downhill from here, man. We wanted you to come on and witness it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I got to say in the beginning, I think I said this in my podcast, but it was like, I'm like, who are these cats and what are they talking about? And then I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that either. And then I said to Jack, I'm like, hey, Jack, this is Josh. Josh, this is Jack Blades. Hey, Jack, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Josh. By the way, Jack, Josh knows more about your band than you do. Yeah. And I walked away, and he's like,
Yep, there was
because
because
it took about 5 minutes, and he calls me. He's like, Josh does know a lot about my band.
Yeah.
It was because this is actually the first time we've been on video, on the podcast since we've met, Ed, because before that, when you were on, it was before Houston. So, yeah, for those that don't know, I went down to the Houston show, I think it was May 8th.
And he conducted himself with very much professionalism, which I thank you.
All right, listen.
Did he have?
And we're still shocked.
More cocaine and less trousers.
Wait, let's see what he has to say because I'll tell you a quick story. But go ahead, Josh.
Well, I don't like having a reputable reputation. I would prefer you tell people that I was raised in hell, and
It's all hookers and below.
Like, where's Eric Levy at? They couldn't find Eric, and I had him, cross the street at the bar 5 minutes before the show was to start. I want you to tell him I'm a bad rock and roll influence.
Well, I will say this. I'm sitting talking to Josh in my office, and my phone rings, and I immediately fly out of there. And all of a sudden, do you know John Belushi in Animal House when he's like,
Yeah.
That was him looking for where I went, thinking he had to give me backup. He's like, dude, don't ever run that fast again. I had PTSD, thinking I was dodging bombs.
Well, what it was is, so me and Ed were back all the way down this hallway, so we're far away from the action. The band's not on. I don't even know if the band was there yet, but
They were there.
We're all the way down this hallway, just having a conversation, nothing going on. You can't hear anybody in the venue. So just a normal conversation. And all of a sudden, I don't know what it was. I think maybe you looked at your phone, but he got this look on his face and took off running. And it kicked you into where that's how things usually happen when you were overseas. You would just be sitting there talking, and then all of a sudden, bam, something happens, and
Josh is looking for his gun.
You're and the only thing is I didn't hear, whatever it was. It's like I saw him reacting, but what's he reacting to? And he just takes off. So I'm thinking, okay, there's a fight. Am I going to witness, Kelly and Jack beating the shit out of each other or something? Or is there someone trying to break, through the venue? I don't know. I don't know. It was
all about a phone call, but it was an important phone call.
Well,
Andy?
Were they wanting to know if they were doing Stonehenge that night? We're not doing fucking Stonehenge.
We had a Stonehenge that was in danger of being trampled by a midget.
A dwarf.
A dwarf.
Andy,
Small
next
person.
podcast,
Yeah.
we've got to come up with a time signature where we both just jump up and leave him. just to fuck with him.
I thought you were going to say a time signature and see if Ed could play it on drums, because
Ooh,
I'm
no,
also
no.
a drum Ed, so.
Yeah, you guys, I'll let you guys go, man.
Yeah.
Catch
Let's
those,
go.
catch those bullets for me. I'll wait. Make me a sandwich.
But otherwise, no, it was a good time. We had a good time.
Yeah.
He did a nice job, and
It was, and I appreciate.
he didn't fanboy out and didn't embarrass himself. So that was good.
That's good.
And I tried to not stay backstage all that much, but that place was so packed. I mean, they did really good at that venue. And you couldn't walk around. So it's like, all right, I got this pass. I'm standing in the back.
And what the great part about it is that we sold out, and the night before, 2 mainstream bands together couldn't sell out, which is a very It's a nice thing for us. I mean, God bless.
Shows you the power of not only Night Ranger, but the Fans in Motion podcast.
There you go.
Getting the fans and masses to.
I got to tell you, he keeps coming back going, got any stickers? Got any of this? I got some people out there. I'm like, so by the end of the weekend, it was your disciples are back there. Here to see you. What would you like? You want a sticker? You want a
listen?
carpet?
You take care of your people, man. You take care of your people.
It stems from every time he opened a box of Cracker Jacks, he never got a prize.
Yeah.
You're giving out stickers. He's like, ooh.
We got the extra nuts.
I did. I gave out
some. Never noticed that? There's never enough peanuts, man. Everyone's talking about nuts. I'm sorry. That shouldn't happen.
Well, you know what? Brent will talk to you forever about that. So yeah, I gave the stickers out, and
I can't believe you didn't defend me. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
I know where my bread's buttered.
And
he'll butter it, but you got to be careful.
Yeah, we gave some stickers out. There's some Night Ranger fans all the way in the back. One of them was in a wheelchair. It's like, here, man, I have some Night Ranger stickers. Made his day, so it was all good, man. That was my mom. My boy did good tonight. Yeah, but we're 1 year. We've got, when I went down, I got to talk to Jack, and we got to talk to Kelly. We've had Kelly on the podcast. Eric's been on the podcast. We've been doing good, and it's all thanks to you and Eric and Kelly especially for kind of letting us in and see a little bit behind the scenes. And we just want.
And I know some fans have talked about Brad. I literally just talked to him today, and I mean I can say this because who I am, but he'll be back for a filer. And he's like, did you guys miss me, or you guys doing okay without me? And I'm like, yeah, we missed you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And we were at the last show, and right in front of where Brad was sitting, where we playing. I'm sorry, two girls.
Oh, we know.
Voluptuous girls, giant shirts. Brad and Gillis. And I'm sitting by Monitor World, and I zoom in, and I took a picture, and I'm like. I sent it to him in the mid-show, and I'm like, "Your name never looks so big."
Yeah.
Her name is Lori Pierce. She is a listener or a watcher and member of the page.
Yes.
She is a. She actually did a couple live videos for us on the page. She likes Mr. Bradley Gillis, her and her friend. I hope someday that you will see Josh.
Three people.
And Josh Stofferson on the other shirt. I will replace Bradley.
We get three people, and there's three girls. Fans in motion, right across the.
Heck,
wow!
Yes,
there you
go.
I'm going to have to get working on some designing, aren't I?
Yep. What about my book and my movie? What's going on with that, man?
Hey,
yeah, Brent, you got to start writing.
You haven't returned my calls.
Oh.
You're on his block calls.
You're too busy, chasing caviar dreams and whatever Robin Leach says with Josh.
I'm Robin Leach.
Over there, yeah.
Here's some jealousy coming through now, man.
No. Yeah, we did discuss a movie, didn't we? Or a book.
You did. You Rockstar Part 2.
I think we need to do that.
What could be called? The Manager.
Ooh.
Well, you got to figure Ben Affleck did The Accountant, so
there you go.
If you want to turn this into an action flick with a mass murderer, we could, John Wick versus John Wick and Rockstar together.
There you go. Figure out something.
I mean, I'd see it.
I got the dog, so that's part of John Wick, isn't it?
The band says
you're right. It is. It's good call.
If you're not going to use, if the band says you can't use our names or blah blah blah, well then we'll just make up some. The Rangers. We'll go back to that. We'll go back to Ranger. I've got the logo already drawn up on it.
In a world where the food chef becomes the 80s rock band touring manager, and the first scene is just of a hamburger patty on the flat top, and you just see like the spatula just pushing the shit out of it, and it pans up.
That's the wrong way to cook a burger, man.
Exactly. It is the wrong way, and it pans up to a young Ed, fucking, and it shows him walking down the street after work with his dirty apron.
And a flyer blows up in his face, and he pulls out and says, Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I will be there.
This guy's biggest. I can't even
Wow.
talk.
Yeah.
I
And
have a special set of skills.
Okay,
But-
I'll ask you guys the question.
Yeah.
When you first did this, what did you think the band or the team would think, like when they ever caught wind of it? Anything?
Cease and desist.
Well,
I
it was
really thought we would get a letter from somebody saying stop.
Josh constantly told me in the beginning, you better come up with an alternative logo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, it doesn't say Night Ranger. It's 60% different, so I can do Fans in Motion.
Did the math.
That's all it's got to be is like 60% different
Right.
to where you can't get copyright infringement on it.
or they can take you to court, and
Well,
we
they
cannot,
could.
and we could not afford the bills,
I just
and
would-
we
well,
got to give it up. So
That's why he's Josh Stofferson. But we would sit around and like we had this conversation the other day. Man, do you think they know about us yet? And I would say to Andy, they gotta like it. And Andy's answer is,
I'm a narcissist. I would love to read pages about myself all the time.
yeah, who wouldn't?
So-
Who wouldn't?
But then you don't get any feedback. Like, you don't get like, anybody jumping on the page going, hey, I'm so-and-so. And then we probably wouldn't believe it anyway if it was. So
Right.
Had a certain guitarist reach out and ask me to make a logo for his guitar pick, and says, I'll send you some, blah blah blah. I say, hey, would you like to come on the show? Crickets. So we knew we were getting attention. Cool. This is happening. So
That's good.
But at the end of the day, I mean, we hope they see it as we love this band and we don't want it to end. And we're trying to keep that flame alive because you talked about selling out that show. And I've told these guys, and I've told that we did a show about it. I've taken a lot of people to a Night Ranger show who've never been. And at the end of the night, the same thing is always like, these guys are so good.
Well, and like
And
I
they
said,
are.
in my podcast, there are people that don't want to follow us. And I'm not saying that because I'm employed by them. It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah. I mean, I remember it, and it's like they still have so much energy on stage. I mean, you can't tell that they're aging except for the fact that they look different. But I mean, they look great,
and
the energy's still there. I mean, my wife still says, she goes, I can't believe the energy level these guys still have.
Listen, I hope I'm late 60s, not have to go through a heart transplant or heart surgery,
Yeah.
and still play like Kelly does. I mean, and look as good as he does.
I wish I looked as good as any of them guys, man.
Well, Eric's a little rough, but
Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah, but he figured out how to make it look good. We love Eric. Eric's great.
I mean, but we've talked about this in the last episode. I go, what's great is there's nothing cringeworthy when you see this band, like that breakout video. There's nothing, and you're just like, ugh. And right when I say that, the same show that Night Ranger plays this last weekend, another lead singer of one of our big 80s bands just had a total shit show. And it's like that is stuff that we're lucky that we don't have to deal with Night Ranger. They still
they look like rock stars.
Yeah, and they still perform great, and the songs are still there. I mean, the album, these last 3 albums that they've had are just fantastic, and I will put my money on that this one's going to be just as fantastic as the last 3. So it's a good time. Like I've said it 100 times, and very rarely does a band that's been around as long as Night Ranger have one of their best decades this late in their career. So
yeah,
and
no voice
and you're a
problems.
big part of that, Ed.
thanks, guys. I'll thank the little people.
Now, Ed, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
I don't recall us last time speaking that you had a podcast.
He's talking about his episode.
I'm talking about your episode.
Oh, I thought you were talking about you did a pod. I'm like,
No,
well,
I
I
wouldn't
want.
understand all this technical stuff.
I can't imagine Ed has time.
Dude, let me tell you, you're exactly right, man. I go, and it's not even revolve around my kids. I mean, they're in baseball and fast pitch softball and all that, and I don't stop. I mean, because I still cater a little, I still with the family business, and I mean, now people are starting to open up, and they want to eat, they want to rejoice, whatever, and that's it.
I was going to ask you if you still have the restaurant. Are you still involved in that a lot?
Sold everything 2 weeks before COVID hit.
Well played. Somebody.
Cash that check.
Thank you.
But I still cater for like when the funerals happen and people want to eat afterwards and all that.
Yeah, well,
That's awesome.
I unfortunately have just gone through that, so yeah, I understand what you're talking about. So yeah.
Hey, do we want to see Ed move? Do you
Yeah.
want me to get Ed to move right now? Ed, it's time for another exciting episode of What's in Ed's office? Back by popular.
I had people DMing me, like trying to get the private message me, and the way my stuff's set up, I don't see it right away. I get protected, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? It's that big of a phenomenon?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were making memes of Josh's face when you showed stuff.
I saw that. That was like,
Yeah.
what?
That tour book, like I said, that was the first time I seen the man melt.
All right, I want to put these back on so you guys don't see my eyes and my reaction.
Oh, look at this.
This is Elvis Blades.
Elvis is in the building. Just show what you got there, Ed. Just break it down for us, my man.
Let me see those collectibles, Edward.
Man, see. Okay.
Star Guitars.
Nobody's in it from the band.
Why
Well, then
not?
that's false
The
advertising.
Fernandez should be in there.
Play it loud.
The instruments of rock and roll.
Nice. Are these like coffee table books, picture books?
Yeah, people just think because I play the drums, I want guitar books. I don't even know what a freaking riff is, so I don't, you know.
I always say without the drummer, all of it goes to crap.
Right.
We can control the tempo. We can make that song scream. We can make that song slow down.
I have
we
a
go.
limited edition luggage tag.
Hey, that's from Dwayne Vickers.
Yes.
Oh, I'm banging
Also
here
known
myself.
as Night Dwanger is what his friends call him.
I have this. This is crazy. I have a box.
I see
Okay.
some magnets there.
I have a box of every pass that we have in our World of City box. I got VIPs. I got magnets. I got lanyards.
You do have my address, don't you?
What's that?
You do have my address, I believe.
Little by little, I keep getting, I keep, like, taking some back, you know, to the rig.
It's good to have that stuff. Oh, top shelf stuff.
This is a flag. 9/11, right?
Okay.
It's going to be the 20th anniversary this year. This is so it's the stars and stripes and everything, but the lines are colored appropriately, but it's the name of everyone that died in that.
Oh, wow.
Is that wild?
That's
Is that
interesting.
something that we can get, or is that?
Yeah, where do you get that?
Well,
I don't know.
Hold that back up. So it's the 9/11 Flag of Honor. I'm sure
9/11
if we
flag.
do a Google on that, something's going to come up. So
I believe she got it on Amazon. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's really something.
Isn't
Then.
that wild?
Yeah.
Annalyn.
Yeah.
flag?
Somebody's mass producing that thing.
Where's it at? Right there. Annalyn.
Annin, AINNIN flag makers.
ANNIN.
Roseland, New Jersey. So, well, there's a website right
You
there.
can see the names.
Yep.
See the names?
Yep.
So it's
That's-
everyone's name in the colors of the stripes of the flag.
Wow.
And a lady that I don't know if you guys remember, some even in Ohio, but Drug Mart is a regional.
Yeah,
yeah.
drug
we have them
chain.
down here.
So they're based out of Independence in Cleveland, and the owner are good friends of ours, and the owner's wife is a huge supporter of police and fire, and she gave me that, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty intense. That's my world today. I don't think I have anything else. Oh, I have some pins or some guitar picks.
There we go.
Josh, that
Well,
comes spread to you
I
guys.
guess we could probably now. I'm not going to say what they're for, but they're not really for me. They are for some bribing. I guess we had to do. That's all I'll leave it at. You find me at a show, I'll
This
tell
is
you
a cool
about.
one. These are all my buddies from the Cleveland Police Department. They made their own calendar.
Oh yeah.
And I got all the dogs.
Oh yeah.
And I believe there's some horses and stuff. There's another dog.
Love them shepherds,
Another
man.
dog. Yeah.
Now
So that's my room today.
Now, when I saw you last, you guys were talking about for charity. You guys were going to do a calendar of the Night Ranger road crew, like washing, road cases and stuff
And
without
the tour bus.
without your shirts and stuff.
Yeah, that's gonna be Richie right there.
So where does that stand? Brent wants to know.
It's in production.
All
Trying
right.
to find a picture for it.
There you go.
It's that or pay for Filer, Idaho airplane tickets. So
Yeah.
I just got a text from Eric Levy. That's just how Night Ranger Central
Has
this
Eric
is.
been on?
Is it finally?
Eric's been on the podcast, but we were arranging for him to come on like you are, and that's what we're discussing now.
I should call him right now and be like, "Hey, what are you doing, man?" See if he can talk smack about you.
He is not home yet. He just left his rehearsal, so. He's
probably the only one I could cold call right now without getting pissed at me.
Well, why don't we do that? That right there is a good idea. Let's just call.
Oh, no.
Do it real quick. Let's see what happens.
No, I tell you what's better is let me call Jack. Let's end this.
I don't know about Eric.
Let's end
No.
this relationship before it even begins. Let me be in control of it.
I
been a
can't think
fun
of
year.
a worse idea.
Good knowing you guys.
You know what I'll do is I'll call Jack and he'll answer, and I'll just be like, I can't talk now, I'm busy, and I'll hang up on him.
Yeah, what'd you want, Jack? Why'd you call me?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what you should do, Ed. Call Bradley and just tell him how cool Andy and Brent are, and Josh.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Ed, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Just driving home.
You're on live with the podcast guys. We're playing a game. How bad I can get Eric to talk shit about them?
Hey, Eric.
I never talk shit about anybody.
Now,
We're the
Like,
podcast
like, who
guys.
can you phone call right now and get away with it? I'm like, Eric.
Eric Levy is a friend of the show.
Yeah, Josh said Eric Levy is a friend of the show. We're on the 1-year anniversary show, so I just thought I'd cold call you and be like, what are you doing?
Oh, wonderful. Oh, excellent. I'm just driving through the Bay Area.
What are you doing today?
Oh,
I'm just driving through the Bay.
Well, he says excellent because this way he doesn't have to come on now.
Yeah.
He's probably like, take me off speakerphone now.
No, he's cool with that. He likes to have fun. It's his fault that we're all here, so there.
There you
It
go.
is. Eric's the best.
And besides that, too, I was like, yeah, Josh, I'll come on Thursday night. And then here I am, like, texting him, so sorry, I'm not home yet.
Well, see, now you're on, so you don't have to do it. You have to worry about it.
You're doing the episode, like, right now?
Literally, there are 3 of these ugly mugs are right in front of me.
Oh, that is absolutely fantastic.
Right
All
in
right,
Eric's
You
keyboard
say ugly,
parts.
he's fantastic. Yeah.
Drive safe, and I'm sure they'll call you soon. I'll talk to you later.
All right, enjoy. Bye.
He's so nice.
Yeah, he is. He's great.
He's so fun to talk to.
A great
Yeah,
ambassador for the
can't
band.
call him. What's that?
So he's a great ambassador for the band. Good guy.
Like I said before, like how he plays, it's just ridiculous. Like it's just like just to watch him, even on that little Casio play piano we have in the dressing room from the practice on. He makes that sound good.
Yeah. I watch a lot of his little videos that he posts, and I'm sure it's just made up as he's going. I'm sure it's not written out, and he's just so talented, and he makes it look so freaking easy.
Like when he gets those, like, I want to say like those Hindu grooves going or something,
Yeah.
you know, I'm like, what are you doing, you know?
Yeah. And he's just running up and down the keyboard.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah. I quit.
They're lucky they found him.
Yeah.
One thing that I always sticks out when he did that one episode where he played his favorite Fitz riffs, and most of them are really recognizable. You start playing, you're like, oh yeah, that's this and that's that. But he played that one, and all 3 of us were kind of like, what is that? and he called it the Spooky Riff or something, and it's underneath the verses of Touch of Madness.
Yeah.
And I had that playing a few weeks ago, and now that's all I hear. That's all I hear.
Right.
Like, it's a totally different song.
It's not secret that, Brad's been out with his shoulder surgery. So him and Carrie are picking up that side of the show. And to hear him play some of Brad's solos or his whammies on the keyboard is like Ryan and I just sit there and go, are you kidding me? Like, I mean, he's using the whatever
it's like a pitch bender.
Yeah.
pitch bender as his whammy bar. And I'm like,
and
oh my God.
it makes it look easy.
Right.
Yeah, Brad's going to be like, hey, Eric, if I ever hear you replicate my whammy bar like that again, I'm going to break your fingers.
Yeah.
Too close.
I'll tell you what, I did want to
think
say, as a compliment, I was watching some of the live video, man, and Carrie is pulling off the double duty on solos, and I'm like, man, this guy is good.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we need Brad, but I'm like, that guy pulled it off.
He did a nice job. He really did. He did.
I was very impressed with that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he did a nice job.
Yeah.
What else? That's what's going on in my world in the office.
Let's talk a little bit about September 8th.
Hey.
We talked about it earlier in the episode before you joined us. But September 8th, we got your brother's memorial concert at Jacob's Pavilion, which is one of my favorite venues.
So there's 4,000 seats available, 4,000 like 50. We're probably around 1,750 sold already. All of the VIP tables are sold out. All of the VIP booths are sold out. Pretty much the main front section is sold out. And then they're starting to go up into the bleachers. And I don't see general admission when I look at my chart. I get the ticket sales, but I don't see what's filled because that's obviously first come, first serve. So I'm happy with ticket sales right now. Come after the 4th of July, we're going to do a big media push with 3 big radio stations, or I should say 3 big radio companies, multiple stations, and then 2 TV stations. So come July, we started out early, but I wanted to because like that next week they were announcing 9 Inch Nails, and I'm like, I got to get in front of this. You know what I mean? So it's going well. I think we should sell close to sell out. I don't see it. A lot of people do, but they don't understand the industry. But it's funny just hearing my brothers because, we own funeral homes, right? And they're like, I didn't think this was going to happen. I can't believe people are selling like this. Is not that Night Ranger couldn't sell. They just didn't understand the concept of the concert. You know?
Right.
And my brothers are like, they grew up on like Steely Dan, Chicago. My brother Danny that passed was like Rush, Queen, that kind of stuff. The Eagles, James Taylor and all that. So my 2 older brothers are like, Beach Boys and a little bit more softer rock, right? And so they're like, can we get some earpieces or earplugs? And so I'm going to get logoed earplugs. If any sponsors out there that want to help out, they are more than welcome to put their logo on that piece of paper, and I'll put it on the plugs. So I had to order a case of earplugs, and they're going to be spread sporadically around the arena. And a couple of their buddies are like, hey, I know Pavarotti. I don't know these guys, Night Ranger guys. Who are these guys? And I'm like, just write me the check. Don't worry.
You don't have to like it.
Yeah.
And there's not a bad seat in the house. So if you
and we're gonna have an iMac video board and all that, so it's gonna be badass, man.
Yeah. If
I'll say badass.
Yeah, you're all right.
Well, we are a family-oriented podcast, so that shit is unacceptable.
I'm never going to be able to get the image of you bending over your desk posing for a calendar. I'm never going to lose that.
I'm getting like psychedelic here because stuff keeps changing behind your head.
Yeah, it's a TV set, but we're talking about Danny's.
Okay.
So I went ahead and put him up there.
Yeah. But if you've never been to Jacob's Pavilion, it's a great venue, easy to park at. Right behind the stage is a river. The general admission tickets, which are kind of like the upper level of the what would you call it? The kind of like the bleachers.
Yeah, the grandstand. Yeah.
Even those seats are still fantastic seats.
Right.
So
is this kind of like the phrase?
No. So how it's set up is you got the stage.
You know what it's like? Time out. You know what it's like? It's exactly a small version of M3 at Meriwether Post.
Okay.
That big tapestry, industrial, weatherproof, just like that, but small.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it's outdoors, but it's undercover. And you have basically now there's no pit. I think those are all seats, right? So you have the stage and then kind of a floor with seats, and then when you get to a little bit towards the back, then you have like these bleachers. I think the first part of them are reserved, and then
seats, physical seats.
Yep, and then the second part are just general admission bleachers. But
like high school football stadium bleachers.
Yep.
Gotcha.
But I've sat everywhere in that venue, and there's not a bad seat at all.
It's such an intimate setting, and I mean it's 4,000 seats, and they do a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, 9 Inch Nails are playing there 3 days in a row, sold out in like 30 minutes.
Wow.
You do the math. You know what I mean? It's gonna work.
Well, Trent's from up there, isn't he? Trent Reznor.
Yeah. Hometown.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. You guys are gonna
be there,
broadcasting there, and got you guys a tent, and I think we got to do something fun with that. Like, maybe people can just come by and give a blurb or whatever. And
we're gonna try. We're gonna set something up to where we can at least record. Maybe not be obviously live, but people can share a Night Ranger story, or if they were friends with Danny, a good Danny story, and we'll put together an episode. Wrapped around that.
The one thing my brothers and my family, I should say, all together, like we've had the funeral, we've had the time to, to process and all that. So this is more of a celebration. And look, we're buying 4 police or first responder canines. Right. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And we got some surprises that I can't even tell you guys, but we got some surprises that are going to blow people away. I mean, stuff that you wouldn't even expect that would just show up. And, it's going to be cool, and it's not about another funeral. It's about a celebration and have a good time. And it's like I think I put in my document, I'm like, it's music and it brings people together. And I hate to be like, especially after the year we had, but
that's the truth.
True.
And we are, everyone's looking to finally have a little bit of fun and start, getting out and doing things with friends and family again.
Right. And I think you logged on and you got through to the hotel without a problem, right, Josh?
I have not yet, but I will. My schedule did not allow me to do that today. So,
but just log on to the link that I shared, and I think you have it already, as you probably shared on that end. And it's easy. Everything is just going to be flowing, and it's going to be a fun weekend. It's Labor Day week, and
and you guys will probably have that Night Ranger Road Crew calendar ready to go by then.
Yeah,
there you go.
So
that's sexy.
So there you go.
I have to think of a name for that. Crew in motion.
A touch of sadness.
Oh my Lord, that was Andy Parker that came up with that title. Not
a touch of sexy.
Penny.
Yeah.
12
wishes.
No, there were 7 wishes, but now there's only 1 left, and that ain't it. You know what's funny?
Looking at these pictures.
And the roadies.
Yeah, and they could have Madam Wong on their underwear. Madam Wong 2s.
Well, there's only so many road crew. We would. The 3 of us would probably have to fill in the rest of the dates.
We're gonna be working. We're gonna be doing the road crew stuff that gig if we keep talking
dude,
like this.
I got dibs on baby oil. So,
Chubbs in motion.
Well, lather myself. Lather myself.
I'll be here all night. Try the
so
meal.
much for that family-oriented podcast.
Yeah.
It's cold
That's
outside.
All right.
Trust me.
But yeah, no, it's going good. We're happy with it. Got a lot of sponsorship, but could still use some more auction items. So, anyone out there want to send some auction items our way? Send them to Josh, and he'll get them to me.
Yep. And again, September 8th in Cleveland. Tickets are on Ticketmaster.
Yep.
And if you do have any questions, hit up the the comments in the podcast, or you can message any one of us, and we will lead you in the right direction.
We should do like a hide your tickets or something like that. I should go hide a pair of tickets somewhere, and you guys should like see how much power the fans in motion have.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can make that happen.
I like that.
Don't everybody break at once.
We can make that happen.
Yeah, until we hide him somewhere, then, local teen missing, went on finding Night Ranger. I know I'm thinking it's like,
some fans in motion. Like, no, not us. Not us.
Night Ranger. You only say Night Ranger, not fans in motion.
The Rapetti family supported.
Yeah.
He was last seen, and we're yelling at Brent, why did you hide it in the abandoned warehouse?
What I did was I hid it in a store that sold nothing but fans that were in motion, and that's where the decapitation happened.
Oh, man.
And if you had decapitation on your bingo chart,
yeah,
you are a winner.
I did get a couple of cool things signed, though, this weekend, and I got Great Whites. The band signed a really cool Gibson Les Paul copy.
Oh, cool.
For an auction item. When I go to M3, I plan on hitting up a couple of those guys. I already talked to some of their tour managers. Another set, I could have got another band to sign it, but
well, you got that Moondance Jam coming up out of where was it, Josh? Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota.
The lit guys are going to be there. Kevin did the pictures.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, those guys are fantastic guys. They'll help out, I'm sure.
Problem is, I gotta carry all them damn things. You should see me. Me and Gaff Tape were my best friends this weekend, man. I made a suitcase with the
handle,
with the duct tape, and I'm like walking through the airport. I'm like, check bag, please.
Well, you're just gonna have to. We're more than willing to donate. A Fans in Motion group picture 8x10. Of
that should get you like 50, 60 cents all day.
What else we got, guys? Let's turn into a long 10 minutes. This is going to be part 2.
I was going to mention earlier when we were talking about the year, the one thing I think that helped drive this was the COVID. I remember I had people messaging me. I think Andy did and Josh, but people were saying, "Oh my God, this came at the right time in my life." We're all locked in, and I think that helped out a lot of people in the beginning. And then we lost some of those people because they did some stupid shit. But
yeah,
And if they're gonna sit there and be keyboard commandos and all that, you ain't got time for that crap.
No, this is all about just having fun and talking about the love of a great rock and roll band.
Well,
That's all it's about.
I said if you didn't start a podcast in 2020, you never will. Ed, that would have been a lot cooler on your first episode.
A month ago.
That's the start of your. I was just looking to see how many people are on your page, and that just came out of nowhere.
Oh, I thought why don't you play the rest of the CD for us real quick?
Oh wait, hold on. What I can do?
If you want to play dance
we need
or something,
Japanese bonus track.
We're not mad at you.
Oh, he's doing something.
Yeah, he's gonna tease us. Then he's gonna drive through a tunnel real quick.
He's gonna do something, and next week he's gonna be like, "Hey guys, can I be the fourth guest? They fired me."
Can you cut that part out?
Nope, I'm looking for something. Hannah. Who's that damn thing at?
Talk amongst ourselves.
Are you going to bring up that we're going to do a Fans in Motion exclusive color, on our website? Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, we need to do that.
It's going to cost some money to do that.
Get Tom Shannon back on the.
Let's see how fast I can do this.
Okay.
Last time you were in the desert on a tour bus filming a video, it was in the 1800s.
That's all you get.
That's the next video, huh? Next video?
Well, the last tour bus video was "Sing Me Away," right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'll play it to you off the record.
Okay, hey, I'll take that.
Just like you, Brent.
Josh is like, I'm done recording. Go ahead and play it.
And thank you, Ed. We will see you all next week on the Fans in Motion podcast. Yeah.
See you guys later.
Hey, we got a video exclusive. Nobody else has got that. MTV don't even have that.
Edward, we're going to get off. We're going to end this interview so we can do exactly what you just said and watch that off air. But Ed, thank you for coming on. Thank you for celebrating the 1 year. everybody, if you're out at the shows and you see Ed, there's a few rules that you need to know. Don't call him Edward. Do not slap him on the back. You can rub the back of his head gently. He does like that. And stay out of his way, but say hello. He's a working man, and he works hard, and that's one thing I definitely saw when I was in Houston is he is working his ass off the day before, that morning, that evening, that night, even after the show, and even in the morning. It is a 24/7 for Mr. Ed Repepe. So if you see him, tell him he's doing a good job. And
leave him alone.
And take it. Yeah, you get it.
And I enjoy. I mean, it's nice. It's nice to hear them and talking. But there's a point where I got to be like, see ya, and out. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if he takes off running just like that, remember, shit's not hitting the fan.
But have his back if he needs it.
Yep. So Ed,
Peace.
The floor is yours. I'll give you the last set of words.
fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation. Oh shit, I can't remember it. Eighth grade year, man. I used to know
as far as we can get into it.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Great.
Thank you.
Another year of success and building the machine.
The machine.
The night machine.
We're trying.
You can carry on. Holy shit, look at this. Not only do we have Andy from the Fans in Motion podcast and myself, we have Ed Repepe, tour manager of Night Ranger, and the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Eric Levy, keyboardist for Night Ranger.
Good evening.
Look at this. This is beautiful.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. There's a drinking.
Like that.
There's a drinking game people have come up with. So we say our certain dumb shit that we always do.
If you say friend of the show, you have to take a drink, Eric. So.
Yep, and you guys are both friends of the show, so drink up. And Eric, you would probably enjoy the drinking game. Have your Lagaritas there and just sit back and listen to me, Andy, and Brent shower you with praise on your episode and drink up.
I don't think I would have a chance of keeping up with you in a drinking game.
Well, I guess
I don't know if I want to find out.
Well, you know what? That was number one, environment is everything. That was a cool, comfortable bar that we were at.
That was a good vibe, yeah.
And so if you're not having to look over your shoulder and stuff, and you just know you're okay, then we can get the 8 shots of Jägermeister and just have at it, and just
after the show, not before the show.
After the show, we found it was actually it was like, what was a comic book and video game bar or something like that.
Yeah, it was, right.
And it was just people just hanging out playing video games and reading comic books, and
damn, I like that idea.
It was nice. I was like, well,
yeah, it was a cool vibe.
You don't have to worry about some jackasses in there drinking too much, and I mean, they may bang their controller or something, but
no, it seemed pretty peaceful. Yeah.
Well, that's because you stopped us from tying one on. I was hoping me and you would be, Jack wouldn't be the only one in the Houston press. The next day, Eric Levy, an associate.
If I remember right, my personal count of drinks for the night had reached 7, and I was like, oh, that's probably enough for tonight.
Well, here's the thing: is you got to stop being so good at counting.
Music is just a different way of taking in math.
Yeah, Eric's been counting his whole life.
Either that, or we're just going to have to. If we're going to count, we're just going to start drinking triples, and that counts as 1 if it's in the same glass.
So 1 equals X and triples equals X times 3.
Well, it would be like, let's say, hey, I want a cranberry and vodka, but I want a triple shot. So it's 3 shots of vodka with a splash of cranberry. That will count as 1 because it's in 1 glass, and therefore, when we hit 7, we're actually hitting 21, and that is fun, wholesome family fun math.
Ed, you keeping score of this? Because you're going to be one.
I'm keeping notes.
Yeah, Ed's like, wait a minute.
I got a story about some Jack Daniels, but I'll keep it to myself.
Oh, the Jack Daniels. Right. That was the night I biffed it on stage. We were playing with Brent Michaels. And I'm like running off the side of the stage and running around and not looking where I was going. And I tripped on their pyro and ended up, no big deal, scraping up my arm. And we get back into the dressing room, and Jack's like, hey, let me see that bottle of Jack Daniels, and starts like pouring on me. I was like, ow, that hurts.
Old school antiseptic.
Right? It worked.
Oh my God.
But the next night, the Jack Daniels was gone, so Eric went from getting a liter on his rider to an airplane size on his rider.
That's it.
No more.
And actually, it was only that one night because
all it took was 1.
all it took was
Daddy.
I'm happy at this point to be on the Carrie Kelly diet of craft beer that is working for me.
He gets some. I'm not kidding you. Eric can vouch. We'll be at places, and all of a sudden, I'll be getting like a delivery. Here comes the truck. And I'm like,
yeah, no joke.
What is this? It's for Carrie Kelly. I'm like,
oh, got it.
Oh yeah, we were starting a bus run at some point, and the first night, he's like, "Yeah, I got us hooked up. We got our friend from wherever all, and yeah, like loading cases into the bus the first night."
Yeah.
Josh is like, I can fit in that bus.
Listen, now I'm not like in pro shape like I used to be, but it's like riding a bike. Just
okay, I'll tuck you in. I'll tuck you in like I tuck the rest of them in.
I mean, a lot of fun days. Just drinking it up, getting crazy, waking up in a pile of puke. Not your puke, but who cares?
Yeah. Ed, I'll help you tuck him in. I won't partake in the debauchery.
I'm a few years past the whole testing my boundaries of how much I can drink before puking. But those were the days.
They were fun days. From what I hear.
Yeah.
Well, it was like, you had a good night when like your memory was like a Viewmaster. It was just like scenes like, and you just remember you doing this, and then and it's you somewhere else. It's like you don't have any memories except just little flashbacks.
Yeah, and, what is it, like the hippocampus turns off or something when you've had enough to drink, and it's like you're just experiencing in the moment and you're not recording any of it.
Well, I don't know if I was telling Andy and Brent this once, but my favorite was, I won't say it's my favorite, but getting so hammered and you wake up the next morning and, you open your eyes and the first thing you see is the ceiling and you're like, fuck, this isn't my ceiling. And so, you don't know what's going to be on the left or right of you. It's just like, you just know, your last memory is you at the bar. Woo, I'm having fun. And then it's just waking up. That's not my ceiling. And you look over and there's a chick laying next to you with a goatee. And
did this really happen? Or
like, I don't remember her.
Okay, just so you know, I'm going to go now. I'm a little uncomfortable.
But yeah, those were always fun times, or come on, Ed, what you got to have a good drinking story. We've heard about Jack Daniels.
I'll be honest with you, I don't partake of heavy amounts. I mean, I've got too much responsibility on my hands, and like I always told you before, the safety and security of those guys and my crew are first and foremost.
Yeah.
That is a horrible answer.
That's why we're the most fortunate band in rock and roll, right there.
Yeah.
Right there. So now, Josh, I get to interview you, right?
Yeah.
So what's your podcast moment of the last year?
Oh, see, I asked you questions too. See how we click.
Well, I mean, I think Andy and I would agree. I think getting you on, getting our foot in the Night Ranger world was step number one, and obviously you're a great guy, and you stop at round 7, but other than that,
nobody's perfect.
But then also getting Kelly on, that was another big step for us, and then getting Ed and Richie on, kind of getting in behind the curtain. It is a Night Ranger dedicated hardcore podcast, and so that's what people want is let's talk to the people in the band, let's talk to the people behind the curtains with the band. So really it's it's you guys helping this and pushing this along. And Andy?
I love it. I'm sorry, Andy, go ahead.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite things with this podcast, meeting you guys in person, or is virtually, it was like Josh said, was awesome. But podcast wise, Eric playing keyboard parts in my ears was phenomenal. I was actually just texting a friend of mine, and I said, my life recently has been very surreal. Like I had posters of these guys on my walls, and now I've talked to them virtually. It's really cool, and and I've said it to you before, Eric, and I've said it to Kelly, and you guys taking time out of your day isn't much probably to you, but to people like the fans, it is just unbelievable. And then meeting people like Ed and Rich, that behind the scenes stuff. As a guy who always wanted to be in your spot, I wanted to be a touring musician. I never made it, clearly, but it's neat to hear the stories of how Ed does what he does, and talking to Rich, because he's a drummer and he's a drum tech, and talking to him about how this works. And it's like, it gets me just that much closer to a dream I never achieved, but it feels good to hear the stories. And it's just awesome. And then this page
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, and our page has grown. We just hit over 5,000 members in a year. And, like we told Ed, this started out as just a couple of guys talking about a band they loved. And we're doing everything we can to keep the flame alive for you guys, because you're just such a great band. And we don't want it to ever end. We know it will someday. Hopefully I'll die before then, and I'll have to worry about it.
Yeah, that was a great way to end that.
I don't want to live in a world like Ranger, so if I'm not here, I don't worry about it anymore. And Ed can bury me.
From my perspective, what your podcast has done, what the Fans in Motion has done, is bringing together all kinds of people who we've known along the way from different places, or for me, getting a chance to become aware of, because it's. A band wouldn't be anything if it didn't have people who support it. So what you've done is absolutely incredible. And to talking about stories from crew, to me, it's like the crew usually have the best stories, because you talk to somebody who's been crew for decades, and like the number of artists they've worked with, it's like they'll have all kinds of perspective that somebody who's been in one band the whole time just hasn't had the opportunity, hasn't had the opportunity to find.
And that's why I think what we do now works, because Carl's forgotten more than some of us know. Right, Eric? I mean, if I have a trouble with something, I got Carl 2 feet away from me, or I've got Howard on the radio, And Howard's younger than me, but he's been on the road since he was 21 years old. So, I mean, that's why and I was taught by Yoda. So, I mean, let's face it. I mean, Todd was Todd, man. And so this new dynamic works, where there's 3 of us, doing it. I'm the leader, but I got 2 guys next to me that just will go side by side.
Yeah, and it looks flawless from our end. I know you guys could sit there and probably pick out like, oh, that was a mistake, or maybe somebody trips over some pyrotechnics. But what we see is just this show that goes off without a hitch, man.
That's great to hear. That's what we strive for. And I don't take it for granted to be able to be. I think I told you this the first podcast, but to be able to be working with not just everybody in the band, but as you've seen, as you've talked to Ed, as you've talked to Rich, it's like I know that when that show starts, it's like everybody is giving it their all and their full attention, and it's a great feeling. I've played a lot of crappy gigs in my life, and I don't take that for granted. Knowing that I'm up there with people who actually really care, and we're really determined to make it a great show.
Well, I think as well with the podcast, it's good because with the hardcore fans, it lets them see another dynamic. You're not just a person on the record. They actually get to see the human being. When they go to the show and they see the guys setting up the equipment for their favorite band, it's not just a roadie. It's, hey, that's Ed. That's Howard. It makes it more personal. And for a band like Night Ranger, I think that's really important. Your hardcore fans, are really the ones that, buy all the 4-colored vinyl and the VIP meet and greets. So you only enhance that with doing stuff like this and creating that avenue where they get to see you in a different light and not just up on stage. And they get to hear stories about the cruise ships and Garage Mahal and then with Ed and the restaurant business and the funeral home business, it's just everyone's got a cool story. And I think the biggest thing that I can take away from just even my short time behind the curtain with the 5 guys in the band and then everyone in the crew, it's kind of what you just said, Eric, is, everyone cares. Everyone gives it 100%. And, in any environment and any job, when that happens, it not only is it rare, but, it's a recipe for kicking ass. Because if you have one person that doesn't give 100%, and everybody else is, that person's either going to fall in line or they're going to be gone. It's when you have more than one, and then you got a situation, where you're going to have issues. So just seeing everybody just so involved in putting in 100%, and that's what it takes to put on the Night Ranger shows that we enjoy. And look, it's 11 o'clock on a Thursday night, and look, there's Ed still working, man.
He's got stuff to get done.
He specifically said, he's like, hey, I want you guys recording me working, and I want you to make sure you send the link directly to Jack.
You don't have to record. They know. I know. I'm looking at one screen. I'm trying not to be rude to look at my camera, and I'm like, I got to get these airplanes done. I got to get these airlines done.
Yeah. Fucking
Andy, I got a question for you.
Go.
Okay, so Halloween, let's say you decide you're going to dress as one of the Night Rangers back in the 80s dressed. Who do you choose and which outfit?
And I'll answer that one.
I would go, oh boy. Wow, that's tough. They all had such great clothing choices. The safe bet is to go with Jack in his turquoise jacket, but Brent would have had the jacket, so I would have been out. Kelly's outfit was something to speak of, but I had a set of scrubs, so I would say it probably would have gone as Fitz because I had a set of scrubs.
Outstanding.
So that's what I probably would have done because I already had them. But I probably also would have had Peter Criss makeup on at the same time. So
with me being 43, I'm looking at comfort, and I'm wearing Kelly's 7 Wishes
pajama outfit,
because man, I'll be hanging loose and feeling free. Looking a little weird, but but hey, I'll be comfortable.
I want Brent's Bumblebee outfit.
Yes, yeah, you could have that one. Brent did have the teal with the aqua blazer, so that's why I say he would have been going as Jack.
We found the Bumblebee pants. They are in Japan at a Hard Rock.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Don't know where the shirt is, but yeah.
Well, Eric, can I ask you, Eric? So, and I think we've probably talked about it before, but when you're on stage, and I know it probably gets a little muddy, you can't see a whole lot because there's spotlights in you. But do you feel all of the vibe that comes from? So I've been to a lot of concerts, but the Night Ranger concerts are like they're very familial. People are very high-fiving each other constantly, and then you start playing some iconic, like dun dun dun, and everybody just erupts. I mean, even Ed, that's got to give you guys a little bit of a chill, right? Because I do it. I'm in the audience. I'm one of the ones screaming. I'm like, yes, I love this song. And you have all the power because you're the one going dun dun dun.
I don't know that I have all the power because if I play one wrong note at that moment, it's going to be on YouTube for the rest of my career.
And a stink eye from Jack.
Or not.
But do you guys feel that vibe though when you hit certain songs and you just know it and it's like, God, I know I'm about to make this crowd lose their mind.
Yeah, it's last year, pandemic, March, one night we're off playing a show and the next night everybody's going home for months. And
we're going to be only 2 weeks.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. Those
See
were the
2 weeks.
When we thought it was going to be 2 weeks and we'd all be, wow. But, it's spending all that time at home, which, was great in other ways. But then our first show back was Sturgis, which, in retrospect, it's kind of fun to think that, we took part in a concert that was talked about every day by CNN, like all summer long. But it to be able to be out there and feeling that energy again of, right from the crowd. And like you said, the vibe, there's absolutely nothing like that. And I got to think that's why people, attend rock and roll fantasy camps, or what it's still for me, the reason why I like to go attend a show and to feel that, and know a song and hear it performed and, get those goosebumps myself. Yeah. So getting a chance to be a part of that is I never want to take it for granted. And especially coming out of the pandemic and not having it for so long. It's like every opportunity now I'm just up there like soaking it in and like, wow, I still get to do this after all that.
For me, I think the opening is the most dramatic.
That build.
Yeah. And then when they hit that final chord where all the lights just come up and it's just, I get the goosebumps.
Yeah.
Or hearing Todd's voice and then hearing Todd's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Well, I'm hoping you guys, you do a 40th, where you play the full album, 40th anniversary of Dawn Patrol. You do one for Midnight Madness, and then 2025, you guys do the 7 Wishes 40th anniversary, and you guys get the genie lamp back on the stage, and we get to see.
Yeah, Ed, do you know where the genie lamp is?
Is it
we'll stop recording
somewhere.
Go ahead.
I've never seen the genie lamp.
Yeah, I've not seen the video, but I honestly, I've never seen it.
It's so cool. Well, get us out to Jack's warehouse and we'll check.
Call Jack right now. Tell him you have a question about his flight. And by the way, since you're on the phone, Josh.
Can you imagine that right now? Oh my God, I would get chastised.
You know what? You guys are gonna be flying out to Idaho, and
In a
you know,
Cessna.
and Kelly's going to end up in like Winnipeg, and it's going to be, how'd that happen? And you clicked the wrong button. Well, how did Ed click the wrong button? He was on a fucking podcast.
Talking about a damn genie lamp.
Yeah, now Kelly's in Winnipeg.
Some bumblebee outfit he was wearing.
Well, at least it's not Saskatchewan. But yeah, yeah. Honestly, though, seriously, call Jack.
Yeah, that's funny. Do it.
All right. On that note, it's bedtime. I got an early meeting tomorrow to go over my September 8th concert.
We'll be there, man.
At the Pavilion of Jacob's Pavilion.
Dude, can you imagine the buzz we would have for that show if you brought out the genie lamp for that show? Marketing, my friend. All right.
Hint.
When you put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a sponsor for the genie ramp.
Listen,
Hey,
you know, we will put the Fans in Motion logo
I'll
on
get
that
a sticker
thing.
made.
We will give you $15 and change. Get the genie lamp. We want to. That's your new goal. Ed,
Right.
get on it. Okay.
All right, you guys have a good night. Eric, deuces. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you as always, Ed.
You got it, buddy. Talk to you guys later.
Later.
Gentlemen, I'm going to say hello to my kids too before they go to sleep.
Yep. So,
Thank you for hanging on with me. Yeah.
Hey,
Eric, thank
real
you for
quick,
jumping
thank you.
on, my friend. We shall all talk to you soon, my friend.
And thank you for the new album, man. It is what we've heard of one song is so freaking great. I can't wait.
Oh, I love hearing that. Excellent. Awesome.
It's going to be
So
awesome.
happy
So
you're
I
doing it.
love the little keyboard work you got going on in the verses.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks. Yeah, so good stuff.
That was actually the last thing. That was actually the very last thing. Well, not the very, very, very last thing, but that it was like the day before the mixes were going to start being done, and the mixing engineer Anthony is like, he's like, you know, sorry, but I need, like, if you want to be on these songs, I need these parts from you. And it was the day before the mixes were going to start, and Breakout was the last song that I did, and so it's that very last day is when I recorded that part that then ends up being the single. It's interesting in retrospect. I was like, oh, I just have to get this out. And, oh, but what if I do this? And, yeah.
well, that's great. We love it.
Thank you.
So,
Awesome.
Thanks,
thank
Eric.
you.
Eric, thanks.
Enjoy your night, gentlemen.
Hey, thank
Catch
you.
next time.
Yep.
Turning to days. Know what I'm talking about? I dream of that girl.
And our final guest on the 1-year anniversary episode of Fans in Motion, the Andy, to quote Andy, the podcast you didn't know you needed. We have drummer extraordinaire of Rags, The Mob, and a band that we still all enjoy that you may have heard of called Night Ranger. Everybody, Kelly Kagi joins us again.
Boom,
yeah.
Dude,
Thank-
I can't believe you guys made it a year. I thought you guys were just get cut.
We thought you were going to shut us down.
We waited for some lawyers to contact us.
Yeah.
Yes, I am surprised I have not gotten any cease and desist. But I thought about being proactive and having my attorney send something to you guys first, just to throw y'all for a loop. But
like, what the hell's this?
Yeah. Jack would have been like, oh, that's that attorney from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
right.
that's Lionel Hutz.
Lionel Hutz.
so, but yeah, we've had 1 year of talking nothing but Night Ranger. We've found out, we've talked to people from Rubicon and David Lauser from the first tour that you guys did, taking it to the streets. We've gone into who else? We've former members, Joel and Gary Moon, to Mr. Eric Levy, the one and only
Friend of
Eric
the show.
Levy, friend of the show. Ding.
All star of all stars.
Yep. And we've had Tristan Avakian, Brandon Etheridge, just this whole Night Ranger world we've brought under the Fans in Motion banner, but we were nothing until Kelly Kagi.
Until the real deal shows up.
As Jack Blades always says, one of the 3 best singing drummers. Was he always say one of the 3 best?
Ringo, there's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always wondered what he considers the top 2 if you're 3. Is it Ringo and
Well, it goes Kelly Kagi,
Phil
number
Collins?
1, Phil Collins, and Ringo.
Pete Rivera. You know Pete Rivera, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't.
Don't know Pete Rivera.
I don't.
Remember Rare Earth?
I remember Rare Earth. That's him.
That was he sang all the songs. He was the lead vocalist in the band. He was a great lead vocalist. I met the guy one time. We did some big street festival. It's like 20 years ago. And I heard that Rare Earth was going to be on there. And I immediately said, is Pete Rivera in the band? Over on the stage. I ran over. I had to go and shake this guy's hand because he did all of those big hits. He was the lead vocals and playing drums, you know? So Pete Rivera for me.
I like it.
Of course, I heard Ringo sing at Hollywood Bowl.
Well,
you know.
Oh wow!
And then of course Don Henley. You know.
Well, Don Henley.
Don Brewer.
Yeah.
Karen Carpenter.
I this may shock you. I have never seen the movie The Last Waltz, and I'm just watching it. So Levon Helm.
Oh, great! Oh my! Unbelievable singer.
I can't believe I've never seen it, and I'm scrolling through my
playlist.
You know,
it's just like it was one of those kind of movies that you would maybe pass up unless you were there.
Yeah.
Unless you were living, in the 70s, and they would put those movies out like Woodstock and all those kind of movies. We're in the theaters of all places. Like, oh my God, go to a theater, what, Altamont?
Yeah.
Horrifying. The Last Waltz. I went back and watched it too, like a year ago, because there was one song on there that they had in the movie, but they didn't have it on the live album. And it was, I was searching for it, I was trying to find it, you know. So I started watching it again, you know, and, but anyway, I'm
it's good. And I just wanted to bring up Levon Helm. So there we go.
Well, we can't also forget about our first Fans of Motion interview guest. There was a singing drummer that sang about half of the Rubicon songs, Mr. Greg Eckler.
God rest his soul, man.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's who we're talking to with right now was Greg Eckler's replacement in Rubicon, Mr. Kelly Kagi. Kelly, it's an exciting time in the Night Ranger world. We've got a new Night Ranger song that is kicking everyone's ass. Breakout. I think I can speak on behalf of Brent and Andrew. Thank you.
Yes.
For giving us a kick-ass song and video in 2021.
It's so good.
Andy likes it.
So
I feel better.
Thankful we got through that last year, and it came out the other side with some amazing material, a good record. Everybody's intact. Nobody got sick. You know, I mean, everybody's just kind of dealing with it, and now we're getting back in there. We're so excited about this new album coming out and all the songs that Frontiers, wants to release a bunch of singles off of this thing, and we're very excited that they're going to go deep into this album.
Great.
And so we're like, yes, very excited about it. Somebody actually got a hold of me over the weekend and said, "Hey, I just heard an ad for the new record on CBS." And I was like, "You're kidding? An ad, on TV?" I was like, "Holy crap, that's great." I think it was TV.
Yeah.
Sure, but
I haven't seen it, but I'll be looking for it.
We had someone on the page today, Joe Casamata, posted in true Northeast Ohio fashion, 97.5 just broke it out. ever notice how much better songs sound when you hear them played on the radio? And he posted his screenshot of the radio playing Breakout by Night Ranger. So
that's great.
There you go.
Guys, and it's, thank you guys. I want to personally thank all of you for being, behind this, because you guys have stayed with us for a year, of course, and then leading up to the release of the album, it's amazing that the dates kind of worked out, isn't it?
Yeah. Every couple of days, I'll get on the page and I'll post where you can get the albums from, which color you can get it from. And then if it ends up on your page, then I go ahead and put my little advertisement on the bottom with the websites. We're trying to sell the shit out of this thing.
It's great that you got, for collectors, you got the 4 vinyl copies, and you still get the people who are wanting the CDs and stuff. So
I went and bought my own copies. I like doing that when the release. I just do it myself, So I got a CD coming. I got one of each. I got a couple copies.
Yeah, we all got 5 copies coming.
Yeah,
I spent money I didn't have buying the different vinyls. I'm like, I'll pay for it.
Damn you, Keggy! Damn you!
Well, but like Josh said, it's awesome that, and I don't know who made the decision, if it was you, the band, or if it was Frontiers, but thank you for doing the different vinyls. It's fun. It's exciting again. It makes record buying fun again, instead of just going to my iPhone and downloading it.
That's awesome. Well, the thing is too, is that we just want to have more options for everybody too, and for us. It's not. It starts from us first. It's like, man, I want this and I want that. And we start talking about colors and and not just downloading. Like when they were first coming up with the concept of downloading files, like way, like at the end of the 80s, I thought there's not going to be any more staring at an album cover anymore.
Right.
That's how I came up in the world, was, looking at everything, just like every little word and, Pat Pending.
Yeah. Who's Pat Pending?
But, so I thought it was going to be the end of it, but luckily, people still want to, get the vinyl and get the covers and the CD covers and all that.
Brent and I are definitely of that age. Josh is a little bit younger than us, but Brent and I spent many an hour staring at Kiss Alive 2.
Yeah.
Wow. Opened up and just dreaming like, oh my God, someday I have to see this in person.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is
I
have it here.
Speaking of something,
there is a 7-year-old, and I fell asleep, and look what I was doing. I was on there.
He bidding up the album covers. What he was doing.
I was bidding up the album covers, but I was reading all the lyrics and who played on what, and that was the best. That was some of the best stuff to do, was to get those cassette and record covers, and you just and you go through them enough, you're like, oh, this person worked with this guy, and you could kind of form these connections, and
wondering who some of these people even are,
Yeah.
Right.
And I always love the nicknames. You would see, Joe, Big Gun Smith, and and stuff like that. And all the road crew always had different, nicknames and stuff.
I used to like to try to figure out, when you guys had your publishing, who was what. Like, is it one of your guys like Rough Play Music or something, or I always tried to figure out who was what.
Yeah, exactly. And then later on, everybody came up with their own. But Rough Play. It made sense because those were the first couple of songs, that we did. Let It Run, Play Rough, Penny. Some of those songs, and Play Rough is a good title.
Oh yeah, and a great song.
Yeah, I know. I like that song.
Kelly, we've 1 year. Yeah, I'm ready. 1 year down. we got many years ahead because we can talk Night Ranger. We got new albums coming out. We can go back and talk about all the classic records. We got the great records from the 90s, and we got all these great records in the last 10 years. So Kelly, you're not getting rid of us that easily. Okay.
No.
Yeah, and this is just the beginning. And Kelly, it was. I mean, you made us legitimate when you came on.
Yep.
You know, that's basically the best way I could describe it. Was we had an original member on, and you made our dreams come true, man.
Look out for you guys. What am I going to see? Huh?
Yeah, hopefully when you first ever heard of us, it wasn't like, oh shit, what's going on here, you know?
Get the attorneys now.
You know.
Well, I thought it was really cool hearing from like Jennifer Young, you know, a good friend of ours, and from about the page. He was talking about the page, and so you know, maybe I shouldn't have mentioned her name, but
Well, we would sit around and go, they have to like it, right? I mean, and Andy would say, well, if it were about me, I'd like it if somebody was doing it. I'm like,
I'm a complete narcissist, so I know I'd like it.
Yeah.
We just hope, you know, we were hoping you guys would at least like what we were doing, or what we were attempting on doing. You know?
No, it was really cool to have like hardcore fans making comments and jokes and stuff like that about lyrics, and you know, every once in a while somebody says something about when we were just Josh and I were just talking about Ice Machine. Like,
I love that line.
Get rid of that Ice Machine. You know, the record executive at the first playbacks and for the first record, he goes, I don't like that lyric, Ice Machine. Get rid of that lyric. And we're like, it's on the record. You know, it's like,
it's been pressed.
That's great.
Kelly, we'll have to get you back on and finish our in-depth interview. Everybody enjoyed that. This page is, I mean, we're celebrating the 1 year, but the page is made up of the hardcore fans, and everyone on there is great. So much great stuff has been shared, and really the page is because of them and because you guys are still out there kicking ass. It's just us three yahoos are somehow, you know, we're just a
conduit.
We're just in the middle somehow. But thank you.
Care, man. We care. We still care about what we do, you know. And you know, if you're just going through the motions out there, then it's time to let it go, you know. Yeah. But we're not ready. It's too important to all of us right now to let it go. So we're just going to keep doing it, you know, keep rocking and rolling, kicking ass like we do, you know, every day. But we owe it to you guys too, you know, the fans on the Fans in Motion page, and you guys are pushing it. And now we got a new record, so we're going to continue, you know, keep going.
Well, you make us proud. I mean, it's good to be a Night Ranger fan, and you guys are still bringing it. So 2021 is going to be a good year. You will see us out there. You will get tired of us.
Oh my God! We're gonna
let's see your best ducking move right now.
Like, those guys, make sure that they don't come.
Yeah.
Come out.
Yep.
Wow.
Don't take a check from them and don't let them in.
You take the check. Don't take the check.
By the end of the year, we will be doing a podcast for Kaja Gugu, probably, because we will be banned from all things Night Ranger.
We're too shy.
Even Lamal from Kaja Gugu is going to say no way.
So.
It's sad that I even know his name.
Yes, it is.
But you know what? But no, what's going to happen is, you know, we got in good with Richie Russo. Richie's a great guy.
Oh yeah.
He was talking about The Hardest Road and how it brought tears to his eyes, and I cannot wait to hear that song.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait to hear the acoustic version of it.
I just remember when we were cutting the drums, and Ken Mary was engineering in Mason. Richie was out here too. And there was something about it when the song gets to the end and it starts to do this roll through the chorus, right? And both of them just stood up with their hands up like this, like I must have done something to keep it going higher and higher. Did something, some big build, and they just stood up and they went like this. And we all just were kind of raised up at that point. We were like, okay, we're on the right thing, man. Just keep going, and it keeps riding and riding, So I'm glad you brought that up because that song is definitely special to Jack and Brad and myself. It was one of those moments on the record when we were writing it. So
we're looking forward to it.
It's good to talk to you guys, and we'll keep it going, man. Next week we'll get back on and finish this.
Sounds awesome. Sounds good. 1 year, guys. Andy, Brent, did you guys bring any cake?
I have a thing of frosting upstairs I've been eating. Does that count?
Well,
hey, you don't want to give Andy anywhere near cake with Kelly. Just leave it at that.
All right.
There's a story about that, Kelly. Tell you a
story about that, Kelly. Yeah.
Hey, we're recording now. Hey, everyone! It's a long fucking night.
Yeah. We have. I hope you've enjoyed the show, the episode. We have. It's been awesome talking to everybody, and we're very lucky, blessed, whatever word you want to use. Thank you. If you're still watching this, you are a freaking hero, man.
You are a fan in motion. It was interesting, to say the least.
I mean, we lost Brent. He had to bow out. It's just me and Josh at this point. My dogs are asleep.
We have an interview in the can. I can't say with who or anything like that, but we have an interview. It went on forever, and it was late at night to begin with, and the person we're talking to is talking, and I see Brent.
Yeah.
falling asleep and stuff. So it's bad when Brent, bows out.
But anyway, 1 year of podcasting brilliance. Fast and loose with brilliance. But it's been fun. We've had a fantastic run, and I can't wait to see where this goes in the future. We're so lucky to have the friends of the show take some time out of their day to come in and spend some time with us on the anniversary show.
Where will we be for year 2? Will we last? Will the Night Ranger fame get to our head and break us up?
If I have a vote, and I hope we're doing a live recording from Sammy's place in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. That's my vote. Cabo Wabo.
Sammy sees us and hires us to be his own personal podcast.
Hey, we could squeeze some more time out and be a Red Rocker podcast.
Well, knowing us, we'll be flying dog shit out of Hong Kong, but rubber dog shit out of Hong Kong. But Andy, 1 year, man.
That's impressive.
And we've
thank you, everybody.
And we've never met in person.
Never met in person.
Maybe that will change in Wabash.
Yeah, I'm hoping to line all that up in the next couple of days, and
because if not, it's going to be September. Hell, we'll almost be into closing in on the 1.5 year mark. For the podcast. So I don't think that math's right, but whatever. It's fucking late.
Anyway, thank you, everybody. If you're still listening, still watching, thank you so much. Josh, thank you for starting this thing with Brent. And I say to you, say goodbye, Josh.
Later.